Hello, Marcelo Pico here with a quick intro before the intro. Voting has begun in this year's 12th annual Talk Film Society Awards. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards for details on how to vote. Stay tuned to this show and Talk Film Society socials for updates. You have until January 20th to vote in this first round. The winners will be announced on February 28th, 2025. Just stay tuned to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards for updates and to vote. That's it. Go vote. And now, on to the episode. Hello and welcome to the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your co-host of this, Marcelo Pico, on another edition of the Oscars award season, Talk Film Society special series, in conjunction with the Talk Film Society Awards. That's right. That title just rolls off the tongue of what this series is called. And with me, as always, for this is Siobhan Irving. Hello, Siobhan.
Well, that's my name. Don't wear it out. I'm having fun here, Marcelo.
Yeah. Oh,
we're 2 episodes. This is our second episode.
Yeah, the second episode. So okay. Second episode of this new season of the series, which I just realized has no official name. I was joking around
TFS
earlier,
Awards
but
show. I don't know.
The award season show. Anyway,
the awards review.
The awards review. I like that. Talk Film Society's rewards. Nope. Awards.
Talk Film Society rewards the awards.
Rewards the award. The awards review. Whatever this is, we're covering the season of awards.
It's not the Christmas season.
No.
That's over by the time you're listening to this, I think, maybe.
Yeah, this comes out early Jan. But yeah, I mean, hopefully. Hey, Siobhan, did you have a good...
Bring it in the new year.
Did you have a good holiday season?
Oh my God, the best of my life, man. I'm really excited to see how 2025 turns out.
Yeah.
We've got some big developments happening in January that I hope will shake things up in this country.
Yes, January is going to be big. It's not only are we going to see the peaceful transfer of power, but we're also going to see the new movie by Steven Soderbergh, Presence. Just
oh my God,
those two things happening in the same month.
You know what? I gotta say,
please say
this Soderbergh guy doesn't know what he's doing.
What? Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
No,
Hear me
out.
All right.
I gotta wait until January to open my presents? That's not how it works.
Whoa!
That's not how it works, Soderbergh.
All right, so that's who we are. Now let's move on. So this episode is we're covering what we usually cover the first episode of this series, right? So far, well. Last week or a few days ago, whenever the last one was released, that one was like a special intro. It's like me and Siobhan went through our best first-time watches of non-2024 films in 2024. Like, that was fun, right? But we didn't talk any categories. This week is different.
Yeah.
We're starting with the categories, and we start with what we've always started with in the past, right? Actors and supporting actors. I forget, but we're back.
That's how the shows start too. They start with a supporting actor, and I get that.
True.
It's like grip you right away, like give you a big reward that you care about, but
huge,
not the biggest rewards.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a big episode, but not the biggest episode. Okay. Supporting actor, supporting actress. 2 categories. The best of 2024.
Yes. Supporting actor, supporting actress of 2024. And we have a beautiful guest to discuss that with. Marcelo's better half.
Yeah, I say better half. My co-host of another podcast I do, Stage to Screen. Co-host Elise Poston will be on this episode. Now, listener, you may be wondering...
Posting up threes on the backboard.
You may be wondering, who is this Elise Poston? Exactly? Listen and find out. Right? What?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay. Wait, hold on. Sorry. In addition to being the co-host of that show, what else is her deal? You'll have to find out by listening to this further and listening to that
Does
segment.
she like the Oscars? I don't know. You'll have to listen to find out.
Did we bring in somebody who hates movies?
We'll have to see.
Well, yeah, you'll have to see. That's what I'm referring to, and only that, okay? Other than that, that's all we'll say about Elise Poston right now. Stay tuned. But for right now, Siobhan... Oh, we're just zipping through this. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah. Breezy
Siobhan,
intro, and now we do the other stuff.
Let's move on. Next segment. The news. Okay. Siobhan...
The news.
Previously on the news... We talked New York Film Critics Circle. We talked Golden Globes.
New York pizza.
And then we said there's so many awards things, news items we need to talk about. We need to save some for a future episode. So now we're here.
We did 2 last time. We did Golden Globes in New York. I think we do 2 this time.
Okay.
We promised we would do the LA Film Critics Circle. And I'm going to say you get to choose the other one.
Okay. Since I have the Spirit Awards, let's talk about that too. Okay, how's that do that for you? Okay, LA Film Critics.
How's that do that for me?
How's that? It's a loose Monday afternoon. Okay, I'm loading up Los Angeles Film Critics winners. Now, the New York boys, they did their thing earlier in the month. We talked about that last week. And LA people were like, nuh-uh.
I will notice, like, The Brutalist won New York's Best Picture. It was a dark time over there in New York, but that's the New York spirit, I think. It's a darker place. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, maybe Los Angeles might lighten things up, you know? They're more laid back over there.
Absolutely.
On the coast.
All right, so I have the beach. Okay, so we have to rank, or we have to, like, judge. Are these picks... like, you know, SoCo surfer, like, lazy cool, or are they not?
Definitely.
Okay, right, okay. Here we go.
Do these picks belong in the world of Southland Tales?
Yeah, exactly.
Which movie is Boxer Santeros in that world?
Do you want to start with the big one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No reason not to.
Okay. The winner of the New Generation Award, Vera Drew for the People's Joker.
Are you doing Best Picture?
Nope.
Yes, you know what? For us personally, this is the big one.
This is the biggest. Forget Best Picture. This is the one.
No, this made me very excited. This was like the second major award she won of this award season. She also won a Gotham Award. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, it was very exciting to see, you know, a person that we know, our second best friend.
I don't know how that works.
Winning an award, and B, you know, recognizing trans talent is very cool in the filmmaking world. I do think it's going to be on the rise in the coming years. This year was sort of a watershed years in many ways. So it's good to have your finger on the pulse and recognize that. And yeah, I'm just proud for Vera. It made me happy.
I share the same sentiments. If you haven't listened to... And look, this is not... You know, I want to congratulate Vera, first and foremost. And I want to congratulate the listeners.
Shit.
Listen, I'm going to congratulate the listeners for having listened to the commentary with us, me and Siobhan, with guest Vera Drew, talking over Jingle All the Way. Congratulations to those people. You are the real winners. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
You know, that may be the biggest one, Siobhan. Okay. Mm-hmm. That win. Mm-hmm. So what would be the second biggest one? Best Picture. Okay.
Yes, I would think so.
Yeah, runner-up, The Brutalist. Winner, Anora. Ooh.
Now, that's a New York movie, but it's got an LA sensibility.
Yeah.
Yes,
some of it takes place in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas,
That's true.
Much closer to LA than New York City.
That's true.
Yeah.
Marcelo, I'm going to say it took me almost that entire movie to figure out they were in New York. I
Really?
didn't know they were in New York. Yeah, I didn't realize it.
They walk down that boardwalk. That's distinctly New York. Isn't that Coney Island?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay, it's fine.
I think when they went to Vegas, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that people in LA can just do pretty easily. So
True.
Like, that immediately clicked in my head. They're in LA. But no, it is funnier to think they took a private jet from New York to Vegas for a day.
Okay, look. Honora, is it cool? Is it cooler than The Brutalist? Yeah. So good job, LA. You went with a cooler choice. What's cooler this season than? What's more cooler than Honora, Siobhan? What's cooler than Honora?
One thing, the snow outside, but B, nothing.
Nothing is cooler than Honora this season.
No, nothing.
Except
for the snow outside.
Exactly. The best director, Mohamed Rasolov for The Seed of the Sacred Fig. I've not seen this. I heard it's great. Any thoughts on The Seed of the Sacred Fig?
No, but that's a foreign language film, right?
I believe so, yes.
In recent years, or ever actually, never have I ever really tried to watch the foreign films, but I think, I don't know, I've just got a taste this year. I think I'm going to try, like, if any of them become available, whenever I can watch Seed, I will watch it. Seed of the Sacred Fig.
One movie that's in the race for international film this year, I believe it's called Kneecap, from Ireland. Have you heard of Kneecap?
I've heard the name.
Yeah. I recommend you. I think you'll appreciate Kneecap a lot. I think it might be something you're looking for when it comes to movies.
You know what? This looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's the only international film I've seen this year that's in the running. So yeah, I'm way behind. All right, lead performances. Marianne Jean Baptiste Hartruth's Mikey Madison Honora. Those are the top two leading performances of the year. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. No controversies with Mikey.
Yeah.
And she's great in that movie. I can't speak to Marianne Jean Baptiste, but yeah.
Yeah. Supporting performances, I can never get his name right. Yoria Borisov, Honora, Kieran Culkin, Ariel Payne. Yes, those are the top two. Good picks. I mean, I think I was going to say you'll hear us talk about some of these names later on.
Yeah, I think you will.
Possibly. Let me scroll through these. A screenplay, Ariel Payne, interesting. Cinematography, Nickel Boys. Editing, Nickel Boys, and September 5th.
Famously ripped off Hardcore Henry.
Yes, famously. You know, there would be no Nickel Boys without Hardcore Henry. You can agree on that.
Yeah. I hope
editing.
They thank them in their acceptance speech.
They should thank the cast and crew of Hardcore Henry and nobody else. So,
and they should thank Henry himself.
Thank you, Henry. No, yes. Just those three words, and then off the stage. Thank you, Henry, and then off. Editing, Ty, Nickel Boys, and September 5th. The movie we're all dying to see. Okay, those are the big ones. That is L.A. I would say pretty cool. Pretty cool picks.
Sounded pretty cool. The very last thing you said. But yeah, pretty cool overall.
For the most part.
What was our next one?
I got it here. It's loading up. It's loading.
This is one of my favorite award shows of the year.
Why so?
It's in the name, you know. I feel the independent spirit. They hold it on a beach. It doesn't seem very. It doesn't seem like the most controlled environment. of all the award shows. People seem to be free enough to have a little fun and be loose and probably pumped full of alcohol and have fun. And I think that comes through on the telecast. It's always a fun show to watch, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'll definitely be tuning in this year, like I have the last 2 years, to watch these awards. They're fun, and they have interesting nominees. And here
definitely.
Here are some of those nominees from this year. Okay, co-host choice, Siobhan. Which category do you want to talk about?
When you said interesting nominees, the first thing that came to my mind is one of my favorite awards win ever, perhaps.
Right.
Is they were the only place to recognize my second favorite film of all time, Chasing Amy. Jason Lee won Best Supporting Actor. So go ahead and give me that one.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Supporting actor. Best supporting actor, or should we say best supporting performance? That's right.
Oh.
Everybody is playing in this category.
Getting all woke on us.
Exactly. So I think these are 10 nominees. Siobhan, you keep track as I go through these. I'm assuming there are 10. Yuria Borisov, Honora, Joan Chen, Didi, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Daniel Deadweiler, The Piano Lesson, Carol Kane, Between the Temples, Kara Gulian, Honora, Kenny Khosrudi, Girls Will Be Girls, Bridget Lundy Payne, I Saw the TV Glow, Clarence Divine Eye Macklin, Sing Sing, and Adam Pearson, A Different Man. Woo! What a list.
Cool list. You know, like some names I don't recognize, which is always kind of cool to me.
Should we just jump to Best Picture? Do we have just time to look at that? Siobhan, what do you think?
Well, who won supporting? Who won?
Oh, these are all nominees at this point. Nominees.
Oh, duh. Yes, of course. It hasn't happened yet.
The Gotham Awards happened, but the Indies are not.
Yeah. Let's. You know what? Could I get? Independent Spirit Awards does this. Don't they do Best First Film?
Yes, I can scroll down to see that.
I'd like to see that.
Yes.
Get a taste of the future.
Best First Feature. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your nominees are Dee, In the Summers, Janet Planet, The Piano Lesson, and Problemista.
Beautiful. I'm excited about Problemista. I'm excited about Piano Lesson and Dee. And I love Janet Planet. That's a great category.
Solid. Yeah, solid
also,
category.
Don't they have a category dedicated to John Cassavetes?
Yeah, actually they do. So this award is given to the best feature made for under $1 million. All right.
Okay.
And here are your nominees: Big Boys, Ghost Light, Girls Will Be Girls, Jazzy, and The People's Joker. Interesting lists. Siobhan, what do you make of these nominees?
You know, those first four sounded like total dog shit, and I was like thinking this is a terrible category, but then we heard that last movie, and I'm like, what?
Whoa, wait a second.
The People's Joker, directed, starring, written, produced by our second best friend, Vera Drew.
I'm zooming in on this name. Vera Drew? She wrote and directed The People's Joker? Is that the same People's Joker movie we talked about for the last 3 years? Is that the same one?
person that won the LA Film Critics Circle Best Breakthrough Award?
Yeah. What? Wait a second. We just talked about this person 10 minutes ago. What's going on?
Yeah. Again, very proud of her, and it's very cool to be. I am ecstatic to see her at the Independent Spirit Awards.
Yeah.
I am ecstatic to see her in that place. I hope to God she wins.
What a wild thing.
Best Picture. Wrap it up.
That's it. Best Picture. Fine. Fuck it. Let's do it. Best Feature. Let's go. Honora, I Saw the TV Glow, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, and The Substance.
Only 5 in there. I love that TV Glow's in there. Probably the major trans film of the year.
Yes.
Not. I mean, if you're paying attention to anywhere but the Oscars, I guess. Very cool that got nominated. It's every year it feels they are independent films, but it almost feels a little bit like a cheat that like Anora and Nickel Boys, like they're going to get play at the Oscars, and the Golden Globes. Yeah. And it feels a little weird to also reward them at the Independent Spirit Awards, but also they're independent films, so why not? It's just weird.
Yeah, it happens almost every year now. There's at least one or two that's in the category that's like, Yeah. It's like
I think Nomadland won both.
Yes. I think that's a excellent example of that. But hey, you know what? I'm excited. Hey, I'm sure I'll mention this later. And somebody even say I do in fact mention this later. But I'm happy that The Substance is getting so much attention. I thought it would have been a maybe one category, sort of thing. It's like Demi Moore, but no, it's getting Best Picture, Best Feature nominations. I'm excited. And Nickel Boys, I haven't even seen you yet, but come on. Hardcore Henry. It should be Nickel Boys : a Hardcore Henry story. Okay? Because Hardcore Henry, it was the pioneer of this technology that they're using now. First person point of view for an entire movie? No.
The first film ever shot in a first person perspective.
Yes, absolutely. We'll talk about it later when we eventually see Nickel Boys.
We'll talk about it later, yeah. Yes.
We'll do a commentary for Nickel Boys.
I'm dying for you to see that movie. We need to talk about it. All right. Marcelo, do you think that wraps that up?
That's it.
I do have one piece of news here. I saw these were two headlines that happened on different days that I did happen to click on that I found interesting. Okay, so the first, Christopher Nolan, who was recently knighted. He is now Sir Christopher Nolan. I don't know if you saw that news.
Yes. I saw the news. Yes. I saw the picture. Yes.
It's going to be funny to refer to him as Sir Christopher Nolan from now on.
Wait, can I hold on? Are you are we going to do that? That's a serious question. Are we going to have to say Sir Nolan? Like it's going to be you're going to do it? You're going to go Sir Nolan. And then we'll all know it's Christopher Nolan, of course.
There are plenty of actors like Sir Alec Guinness or whatever. But
who's another example? Like Sir of another Sir Ben Kingsley. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sir. All right. You know what? This is great. It's a great topic for when we do the Dunkirk commentary. But yeah. All right. Continue.
So Sir Christopher Nolan, he named Gladiator 2 as his favorite film of the year.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna read a little. He wrote a big thing about it. I'm just gonna read a little bit of what he said.
Yeah.
And you'll recognize the relevance of this later. Okay.
Okay.
In Ridley Scott's first Gladiator, Maximus asks us, "Are you not entertained?" And we're confronted with the truth of why we'd visit the Colosseum through a movie. Scott knows we're not there for insights into Roman culture. We're there to see our own dark desires at a comfortable remove. But he's far too experienced a director to get caught making parallels with our time. He lets the world of Gladiator 2 speak for itself, once again showing us who we are, simply by inviting us to enjoy the crazy inflationary ride. Why are there sharks in the Colosseum? Because we demand them, and Scott masterfully gives them to us. As he reveals how the games are played to manipulate public opinion, we can't help but see shadows of our own public arena projected onto the sand. So that is what Sir Christopher Nolan had to say about Gladiator 2. Please don't comment yet. I will get to the second thing first. Okay. Now, the second thing I saw was a headline about something that Oliver Stone said about Gladiator 2. He said it was certainly watchable. It's good, well made. But I didn't care about the people. I wasn't invested. The first one was a classic. The second one is empty calories, like a commercial. So Oliver Stone obviously ties into Stonewatch, the famous segment. And Marcelo, who do you think's right here? Who do you agree with more, Sir Christopher Nolan or Oliver Stone, as said on the PBD podcast?
Oh boy! So our new Stonewatch is: are you either Oliver Stone or a director who gives a review of a movie? I want to hear what Oliver Stone thinks of The Brutalist. Like, that's what I want to hear. I'm more with Stone on this one. If there were a scale of Nolan on one end, well, forget Nolan. Like Gladiator 2, appreciation versus Gladiator 2, just hate. If those are the extremes, like I'm more towards hate than appreciation.
Wow.
Like I love Denzel in it. I've seen it twice. I saw it twice, hoping that I would like it a little bit more. But I like it just fine. I think it could have been a lot better, or maybe not even worth doing. But Denzel's great. Production design is pretty cool. But sorry, I'm with Stone on this one. Stone watch.
We're with Stone.
Yeah, Stone watch update. We're with Stone on this one.
Oliver Stone gets a point. All right, take that, sir. Take that,
Sir Nolan.
That. Shove it up your knighthood. All right, that for me is the news.
That is the news. Now, before we go to a break, we got to do one more thing. We have to discuss what is it that we have been watching. Siobhan.
Yes.
The fuck? What are we watching?
The hell. Okay, so you will hear me talk about these two films later, and I get into decent detail as to why I like them later. So I'm not going to go over them too much, but I did see Juror Number 2, and look, I think it feels like the perfect capper to Eastwood's career, if indeed that's what it ends up being. In a way, he's always kind of been about the search for justice in this world and reckoning with belief in the systems. That goes back as far as his Western days, where like you're take the law into your own hands, and it's about outlaws and stuff. He does have a Republican mind about it in the end. It's maybe a little idealistic, but I don't think that means it's valueless. I think there's something to be learned from that. And it is very thought-provoking and just expertly made, very tense, very, very great watch. And then the acting, phenomenal all around. Great ensemble of the year, potentially. So yeah, Juror Number 2, now on Max. Highly, highly, highly encourage all to check that out, even though it will not be getting much, if any, play this award season. Fuck you, Zaslav. And then the other major film I watched this past week was Conclave, which, again, talk about it later in the episode.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of goes hand in hand with what I said about Juror Number 2, how, like, it's about that, search for, not exactly justice, but, like, trying to find having an idealistic view about these historically prejudiced and awful systems, places, whatever. But again, very finely made, very great ensemble. Like these, I just said a potentially ensemble of the year for Juror Number 2, and I could say the same for Conclave. Very fun, funny movie. Everybody comes to play, and yeah, very entertaining. I think this director, he hasn't exactly turned me around. Like I really did not like All Quiet on the Western Front, but after Conclave, he's shown just a little bit of a different side, and like I am interested in seeing what he does next. Not like I'm there with bells on, but like I'm interested to see it. So those are my two major ones. But Marcelo,
yeah,
Stonewatch is dead. But
rest in peace, Stonewatch.
We do have a new segment replacing it, taking its place. We have the Schrader Shredder. Now,
which, explain to me why it's called the Schrader Shredder.
I don't know.
Come on,
it's a funny play on words.
Look,
here's the thing.
Listen, I tried to make sense of it last episode, and I kind of gave up. So,
okay, here. I can help you.
Okay.
So I do think this should be renamed a little bit. I think this should have two different names.
Okay.
Now, I want to keep the Schrader Shredder for Schrader's written movies.
Written by.
Because, what do? You shred paper, right?
Yes.
And
you shred paper, sure.
So what are his director movies? What can we come up with something for that?
Schrader Shooter.
Schrader's Shooters.
Schrader's Shooters.
Comes up very often in his movies.
Perfect. Schrader's Shooters.
I was thinking like Paul's Hall, but yeah, sure. Schrader's Shooters. Well, okay, so this is an so this is an installment of Schrader's Shooters.
Okay.
I watched the film Patty Hearst.
Okay. Were there how many shooters were in Patty Hearst?
Good number.
Yeah, good number of shooters, huh? Okay.
No, seriously, there are.
No, I know there are. I know Patty. I have not seen this movie. I know the Patty Hearst real life events that's based on. There were shooters.
Heiress of the Hearst media family. She gets kidnapped by a Symbionese Liberation Army, who are this kind of like liberation group. They're going to take over the state. Left wing, but like they're a pretty small organization, like 8 people or something, but they've got big ambitions, machine guns, training, these really hippie ideals. They're, in all honesty, they're portrayed as complete morons, and that's probably more than fair. But through her kidnapping, she kind of develops like Stockholm syndrome, but I'd say it's more brainwashing, because they do kind of condition her until she becomes a full-blown member of the Symbionese Liberation Army, and helps them like rob banks and stuff, which is like an insane story, and it's perfect for Schrader. It completely fits into his wheelhouse. Of somebody goes through something that makes them disillusioned with the world at large, and they get turned into something else that is deep, might have the right ideas, but they're deeply flawed, and they are pretty stupid while maintaining some level of empathy for the person, and definitely a level of respect for them, with their choices. So yeah, I think Schrader was a perfect director to tell this story, and he does a great job at it. Really grabbed me from the jump, and I was into it. I think it's a dope movie. I actually was not expecting this one to be much, but no, it's really goddamn good. Highly, even if you aren't a fan of the Shooters films, I would say Patty Hearst is one to go for, if you're not a fan. Because like it keeps its sensibilities, but like it also, there's a little bit more, there's just a slightly different energy to it, maybe, that I think maybe somebody else would vibe with, or maybe it feels a bit more like a straight drama. It's totally great though. It's awesome. It's a great movie. Yeah. I'm very glad I watched it. And thanks to you, Marcelo. You told me to watch it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Because last episode, I forget exactly the scenario, but ended up with Patty Hearst. So is it going to happen again now? Am I going to have to pick
I think I'm going to literally have just enough time to watch another movie before we record again.
Okay.
So, Marcelo, this time we are going into the Schrader Shredder.
All right. Okay. So we've done Schrader's Shooters. Now we're on to Schrader Shredder.
Which are Paul Schrader's directed films. These are Paul Schrader's written films. He didn't direct these. Raging Bull. Old, and I've never seen any of these. Old Boyfriends.
Okay.
Rolling Thunder.
Ooh.
Mosquito Coast.
Okay.
The Yakuza.
Uh-huh.
The Walker.
Uh-huh.
There Are No Saints. City Hall, and Obsession.
Wait, Obsession, Brian De Palma Obsession?
Yeah.
Brian, I didn't know he wrote that. I guess I forgot that he wrote that, De Palma. I'm going to pick the one I really reacted to, and I kind of just, as soon as you said it, I knew it was the one. I was just waiting for you to stop talking. Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, watch it, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Not to put your expectations pretty high, but yeah, this is a hell of a thing. This movie.
Okay, I'm pretty excited. That's good to hear. All right, Marcelo, what is it that you have been watching?
Okay, I have one to talk about. I've seen a few awards contenders already in the last few weeks, and I kind of want to sprinkle them through the show, rather than just say, "Oh yeah, I've seen Baby Girl," and I think that's it. Because I think I have Baby Girl, The Brutalist. I've already talked Nosferatu. Like, what other big ones have I seen that's nobody's seen yet? I think those are it. Siobhan, like, I'm glad you saw Conclave. Like, that's on Peacock now. Nora's on digital. I mean, I've seen Wicked, but I've talked about it for like 2.5 hours on another show. Gladiator 2, already mentioned. I'm with Stone on that one. So I have The Brutalist to talk about. I think that's the only one I've seen that's left of like the big contenders that I need to talk about. So strap in, folks. I saw this now like 2 weeks ago, and it has not left my head. It's as big and important and monumental. I've seen on the poster, it's monumental. Rarely do I ever agree with like these hyperboles. Like, is it really like the best, of the best American film of the century? Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna rule it out. I'm at a point where I've seen it one time and I already want to see it again, and I'm kind of afraid. Like, am I going to like it even more? Am I not going to like it as much as I want to? So that's where I'm at now. I've seen it this one time, but I need to see it again. If you don't know what it's about a Hungarian Jew architect named Laszlo Toth, played by Adrian Brody, comes to America in the 1940s and ends up helping to build a library dedicated to the millionaire played by Guy Pearce, Van Buren something. I forget that guy's name. I'm looking up the cast list. He plays Harrison Lee Van Buren, like a wealthy industrialist. And there's a lot more that goes on in the movie. It is dark. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a very dark movie. And ultimately, it poses these questions that I think a lot of people right now are trying to wrap their heads around in the film circles I follow, and we're not there yet. I think we have to have a long discussion of what this movie's about, and that'll come through the next few months. So that's where I'm at. Even talking about it now, I'm like getting chills because I don't want to say. I don't want to kind of like overhype it for some people too. Craft wise, it is incredible. I'll say that. Just as from a filmmaking standpoint, I think it's definitely worth watching. I think hopefully you see this on film or even on digital, which I saw it in. It's see it in the theater. It's a big movie. You should see in a theater, and it has an intermission. That's what I want to say too. Incredible. Like, every 3-hour movie should have an intermission. But it's a heavy thing, and I'll talk more about it in future episodes, and I'll talk about Guy Pearce, spoiler alert, later on. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and the score itself is incredible. One of my favorite scores of the year so far. So I'll talk about that later too. That's The Brutalist. Siobhan, that's all I gotta say.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I want something to like really fucking challenge me and depress me. Like I look through my favorite films of this year, and I don't feel like I quite have that type of film in there yet. And I'm really digging that kind of thought-provoking experience. Like that is something I highly value. Not to sound hoity-toity or whatever, but it is.
I think I'll talk about this later. Maybe I won't. I forget. But I bring up The Beast in episodes to come. Have you seen The Beast?
No, I do need to see The Beast. Heard a lot about that this year.
If there's one film I can compare The Brutalist to this year, it's The Beast. It's almost as dark, but still pretty dark, and kind of covers the same-ish themes that The Brutalist tackles. So I recommend seeing The Beast if you can. That's another
Criterion Channel.
Yeah, another powerhouse film I've seen this year. I can compare with The Brutalist. But yeah, okay. So, oof. What a time. Also, Baby Girl's pretty good. Baby Girl's pretty sexy. I want to mention that real quick. That'll be my brief mention.
Brief mention. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say Nicole Kidman, one of the best performances of the year. Okay, Siobhan.
Beautiful. Brief mention, you did see Complete Unknown a little bit early.
Okay. And with good measure, I think I talk about this later. Like the more time that passes from me seeing that movie, the more it kind of evaporates from my mind, unfortunately. Like Complete Unknown. Sorry. Like I say this later. Go see it in a theater if you're a Bob Dylan fan. If you like the music at all, it's a good experience to see, big and loud. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I think that's it. Bases have been covered. I think I'm all caught up now. There you go. And hey, I think the next time we record, I'll maybe see. Next episode. No, I'll be the same. Never mind. I think I'm caught up until next episode with all the Oscar contenders I've seen that early. So there you go.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit deeper into Baby Girl, perhaps.
Perhaps. Okay. That is the segment, and I think that's the intro for this episode. Oh boy,
that's an intro.
What an intro! I was talking earlier about 3-hour episodes. I was talking about movies that are 3 hours. Thankfully, this has an intermission. This episode has an intermission. This has a break right in the middle.
This has a Brutalist. This has an Hateful Eight.
Right. So, yeah, I've always looked at these podcasts like roadshow productions. Just Siobhan, and anything else to say before we toss it to ourselves and we have the amazing Elise Poston on the show?
No, I'm too excited. I want our listeners to hear what the lovely Elise Poston has to say about the films of the year, whether she likes movies, whether she likes the Oscars.
Exactly. And what other revelations may there be? We don't know. You have to listen, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, let's do it. Let's do that, I say.
Let's do that. And we'll be back after this break. And we're back. Hello, folks. Just glad you're still with us after those 20, 30, 40 minutes of intro. Who knows at this point? Because it's not like it's not like we're recording that later and recording things out of sync. Definitely not.
It's not even just still with us, still listening. It's still with us on this earth. You survived.
That you survived the thing that happened just now.
Yes.
You know what happened. So after that global event, glad you're still here. And now, it's time. Let's cut to the chase, Siobhan. Let's just bring in our special guest for the episode.
Very special guest for this episode, Marcelo.
Very special. Should I introduce the special guest? Because
I think so.
Okay, yeah. So
seems appropriate.
This person, I know. I'm not going to reveal exactly how I know this person. If you wish to know more about this person and my relationship with this person, check out the podcast in which she co-hosts. It is called Stage to Screen. You can find it on Talk Film Society. It is Elise Poston. Hello, Elise.
Hi, folks. Hey, everybody. It's so strange to be on a different version of a Talk Film Society podcast. What do you guys call your listeners? Are they Talk Filmers? Talk Society? Socialite?
I don't know if we've ever
Talk Film
Socialites
Socialites?
for this show.
All right.
Socialites?
Society, Socialite. I don't know.
Marcelo and I have Socialites is good. Marcelo and I have a side podcast called Have a Nice Apocalypse about the movie Southland Tales, directed by Richard Kelly. And so I wanted to call our fans Kelly's Angels. And Marcelo, what did you want to call our fans?
I forget what. I'm sure
you wanted to call them dickheads.
That sounds right.
Richard Kelly, dickheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, folks. That's the level of respect he has for those of you liline right now.
And Elise is regretting a lot of things right now.
I'm regretting so many choices of the last 2.5 years.
So if I imagine somebody listening who wants to know more about Elise paused this episode just now, went to listen to Stage to Screen, came back, and after those 5 great episodes, they're like, oh, they're together. They live together. Oh, they're a couple. Yes, that's right. Me and Elise are a couple.
Correct.
We're in the same household right now. We're in separate rooms.
Yes.
So just to reveal how the sausage is made.
1950, or actually 1850s style, we have, separate wings of the house. So we'll never interact.
And in your bedroom, you have 2 twin beds placed on opposite sides of the room.
1950s
I Love Lucy style.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. I did equate us to I Love Lucy on an episode of Stage to Screen because it's just me screaming into the void, Marcelo, let me be on your show, just like Lucille Ball. So it's not far off. Now, and here I am on the show, so I won.
For those who chose not to go back and listen to Stage to Screen, now on Talk Film Society, talkfilmsociety.com/stage to screen. Elise, could you enlighten people? Could you give them a brief glimpse of who you are and most importantly, your love of film? Do you have a love of film? Do you care at all about film? And one more, the Oscars. All right, Oscars. Get into it.
Sure. Yes, I have a deep, nerdy, aggressive, intense, some might say insufferable love of film that I've had since I was little. My parents are both kind of movie people in different directions. My dad's kind of a classic films guy. My mom likes a highbrow, period piece adapted from great literature. So we got a nice mix in there. And yeah, I love the Oscars. I'm a big Oscars nerd. I think I've been watching the Oscars since I was 7 or 8 years old, maybe younger, as long as I was allowed to stay up to watch it. My mom likes the Oscars. She likes award shows in general, so I would watch them with her. Yeah, and then over the years started trying to see everything that was nominated and getting into sort of film history. And I was a big Turner Classics person. That was kind of always on in our house, Turner Classic Movies. So yeah, definitely big movie person. That's certainly something we initially bonded over when we first met. You might say that that's like the main thing we have in common, and other stuff too. But just one thing. It's big. It's a big thing that we spend a lot of our time talking about, and
our love of film is big.
Yes. Yeah. And I especially got really into film and the Oscars when I moved to New York and met Matt, who is still one of my best friends, Gianna, who's also a massive Oscars nerd. I kind of hadn't had a really intense film fan friend before. I was sort of did it on my own, kind of talked to my mom about it, but didn't have like a close friend who was also Oscars obsessive. She also keeps a giant spreadsheet of every movie and the race in general. And she and I, and then we were in New York, so we had access to lots of great like rep theaters, and we got to see a lot more than either of us ever did growing up in, I grew up in Kansas, she grew up in Michigan. So that was a big sort of leap forward for me and my film knowledge, I would say. And that was like 2015. So yeah, the last 10 years especially have been very, very film focused. People talk about their like Oscars origin story. I'm not totally sure. The Chicago Oscars was definitely when it like kicked into high gear. I was watching the Oscars before that. The Titanic year was big, but like I loved Chicago. I already loved musicals. I loved that movie. I think I was in 6th grade maybe. So I don't know, however old you are, 12 in 6th grade. And that was when it all kind of like got really big and dramatic for me, was the Chicago Oscars year. And pretty much since then I've followed the Oscars and the film, awards season very closely. So that's my, truncated history with the Oscars and with film in general.
There you go.
Awesome.
Now, Siobhan, do you have any questions for Elise at the moment? Because I have one.
No, go ahead with your question, Marcelo.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you think you're better than me when it comes to predicting Oscar wins, Elise?
Wow.
I beat you last year.
Okay,
but the year before you beat
exactly.
me. So I'd say we're probably pretty lockstep. You tend to be more knowledgeable about like what's going on in the race because you're on social media and I'm not. She said smugly. I kicked your ass last year, so I don't know.
Yeah. Don't be humble. I remember you may have only beat him by 1 point or something, but
no, I have it here.
Of course you've got the
only missed
receipt.
like 3 categories total or something.
I know one I got.
I've never done that well in my entire life.
I did well last year. It wasn't my best year. My best year ever was like 2019 or 18. I only missed 1, and I was mad.
Wow.
I was so mad I hadn't put money on it because I won my office pool, and so I won like $100 or something.
Ooh.
But
Wait.
yeah.
So we have somebody. Okay, listeners, I've been saying this all season and the last 3 seasons of this show. If you want to win money, if you want to win big,
Yes.
okay, take this information that you're going to get this episode. Take it to the bank. Mortgage the house. Put money on who we say are going to win the big awards.
But they have to give us a cut, right? I mean, we're doing the work.
That's a given.
Okay.
We're expecting them to pay us. Give us like 10, 15%. That seems fair. Okay, so Elise last year got 20 out of 23. And I got 18 out of 23. I admit, I remember having that conversation with Elise before the Oscars and 2024, and I was like, okay, you're picking those, I'll pick these, and I remember, I forget which categories in particular we didn't, which ones you got versus which ones I didn't get. I don't remember what exactly. Yeah,
I remember one that I got right that you did not. You picked whatever that Spider-Man movie was, the second across into beyond, whatever that was, the Spider-Verse. And I picked Boy and the Heron. And the only reason I remember this is because Boy and the Heron won, and I started chanting at you, Boy and the Heron, Boy and the Heron. Because I like to be right. And I'm, as I said before, a little insufferable. So that's the only one I remember, though.
Okay. But so we have, dare I say, an Oscar expert on the show. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
No. I don't think that's what I am.
Wait. Then why are you on the show?
I listen religiously to This Had Oscar Buzz.
Oh, to this show? Oh, sorry. Oscar. Okay.
No, This Had Oscar Buzz. Okay. And that is my bar for Oscars experts. Those two have encyclopedic knowledge. So I would never call myself an expert knowing that the two of them exist in the world. I'm also kind of obsessed with them and want to be their best friend, but
What about us?
You guys are great. I listen to your show sometimes.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Siobhan,
it's nice to meet a fan, question mark?
Fan, sure, yeah. Siobhan, I struggle to listen to the show sometimes when Marcelo says something I deeply disagree with, and I can't just turn to him and be like, you're wrong about that. It's frustrating when it's just a voice in a cell phone or on a computer.
Marcelo frustrates me a lot.
Wait a second.
This is fun. I already like this dynamic.
You can't gang up on me.
I think that's the whole premise, Marcelo. I think you invited this into your house, so.
Literally.
Yeah, Marcelo, what's it like to have the two most important women in your life?
Is my mother on the line?
We could get her.
Yeah.
Bring Leticia on, yeah.
Your sister?
My sister?
Your two nieces.
Okay. Moving on. Yes.
Definitely.
So last segment, in the intro, Siobhan and I discussed what is it that we've been watching recently. Siobhan, I loved your take on Conclave Jury Number 2 and Cuckoo, and Siobhan, I'm sure you loved my take on The Brutalist.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Insightful.
It's absolutely insightful.
Gripping, even.
Elise, is there a movie you have watched recently that you would like to discuss in this little segment for you called What is it that you've been watching?
Does it have to be a new movie?
It doesn't have to be a new movie.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at the most recent things I've watched, we had a lovely screening of It's a Wonderful Life 2 nights ago with some friends at the Paramount in downtown Austin, the best theater in town, and it was well attended and good energy, and people were super into it. And we've I don't know if you've talked about this on the show at all, but I know you love that movie. It's a very important movie to me. It's one of those that like you can make fun of it a little bit, but you can't deny the magic and the power it has. So that was a lovely time. I hadn't seen it in a theater in a while, and I hadn't seen it in a crowded theater with lots of people who were excited about it. That was a really nice experience. But other than that, we saw Complete Unknown a couple of days ago, week ago now.
Oh yeah.
That was we got an early screening. It wasn't a press thing though. We just happened to get tickets to an early screening where there was supposed to be a Bob Dylan costume contest. So we put in like 8% effort. I wore a fringe jacket I have, and then they never had the costume contest. They just started the movie.
Yeah.
And some people tried a lot harder than we did and put on legit Bob Dylan costumes. I felt bad for them. We at least didn't put much effort in, but that was very strange. And I would call that movie underwhelming, but I also wasn't expecting much because it's a boring music biopic from the king of boring music biopics. So
I say that, but musical biopics are like the hardest genre to do well.
I don't know that anyone really ever has. I can't think of one that I actually genuinely think is like great.
Love and Mercy is really good.
I did,
the Beach Boys one.
I liked about half of Love and Mercy. I liked the first half, but it's a pretty good movie. It's better than most of them. I kind of liked Rocket Man just for its sort of maximalist silliness.
Rocket Man's fun.
But it's a tough genre. I kind of knew going in I would feel very middling about it, and it always seemed like Timmy to me, who I do normally like, but it just seemed very, the Timmy show. That's a big one for the season. So, anyway, that's just two from me.
That is it that you've been watching.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned this earlier, or I will have mentioned this earlier. A Complete Unknown, I kind of agree, although there's like some supporting performances in there that are genuinely interesting. But it's almost evaporated from my mind since seeing it last week. So there you go. Segment done. Elise, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that kind of sounds kind of silly, but I tell that to every guest that comes on the show. Guest, you're doing a good job. All right. You're passing so far. Okay. Oh, before we get to the main part of this show, I wanted to ask Elise this. Going back to the Oscars. It's sort of also maybe, I want to hear your takes on some of these big Oscar movies before we get into our picks for supporting actor and actress. Elise, like, what's your take on the state of the race right now? And we're recording this right before Christmas. And this will come out, around the New Year's. So just keep in mind, folks listening, like things could change.
Yeah.
Conclave could shoot somebody. Something bad could happen.
Right.
But right now, as of December 21st, Elise, like, what is your thought on the race overall?
It's kind of been a fun one because it doesn't feel so sewn up right now. I feel like at this time last year, it was like, all right, well, we know what's going to happen. We have some question marks, but it's basically, Oppenheimer's to lose at this point. And I like that we're kind of, at least to me, again, I'm not on social media, so it's a very curated podcast world of updates I get. But it feels like things are pretty wide open still. There's a lot of room for some sort of weirder choices. I hope we don't end up just with a really boring, conclave right down the middle. Spoiler alert, I don't like conclave, so I'm going to be the conclave hater today. But I think it's an interesting one just because it's still pretty wide open. So that's fun. I hate the years where it's like it's the same list at every award show. It's the same winners. It's by the time the Oscars roll around, it's a lot less fun and exciting. Those years. There are years where I don't mind it. Like I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once. So it was nice that was kind of it's to lose. But there is still a little bit of a like, well, there's no surprise here. You know, I like a year with some surprise. I like a little chaotic energy from my Oscars night. Not so chaotic. I don't want somebody to get slapped again, but a little chaotic, you know, a little.
All right. We'll see. We'll see who gets slapped or not. I'm sure I asked Siobhan this in the intro episode, but and the answer could change, Siobhan, between the intro and now. But I want to go around the table once again, maybe to reiterate, maybe to pick new picks, but let's predict who'll win Best Picture. Okay, Siobhan, why don't you go first? Best Picture.
Last time I chose Anora. I am going to switch to Conclave.
Oh, what a twist!
At this point,
there's an argument to be made.
At this point, I could feel it. I can feel it.
You can feel it,
especially after seeing it. I just I really get vibes of like, this is made to win this award.
Yeah, there's definitely kind of a whole
do they take the bait? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. A whole sort of Oscar baity thing. Yeah. It's not a bad. Yeah, I wish that weren't the case, but there's an argument to be made for sure.
Well, hold on, Siobhan. Just so Elise knows where your stance is on Conclave, it could be real quick, Siobhan, because the intro would have already happened. Your personal take on Conclave, like make it like real.
I did really like it. I had a great time watching these cardinals be like super bitchy and cunty to each other.
That is the best part of it, is how bitchy they are to each other. That's fun. Yeah,
backstabbing and constant
real
twists and stuff. I found it very entertaining. Like, I liked its messaging. I think. Just enough. I dig it. Like this director's last movie, All Quiet on the Western Front. That's the type of old man movie that I don't want to be getting anything. Mm-hmm. Conclave is the type of old white man movie that I'm okay if it wants some stuff.
That's a very good argument for Conclave, because you're right, especially compared to All Quiet. It's definitely more fun than that. And there is fun to be had with Conclave. I think in many ways, wanted it to be something else and thought it was going to be something else, something more sort of serious and realistic, and it's really not. There is some fun, like, catty bitchiness going on between cardinals. That's very entertaining.
It's really idealistic for sure. Like, and that is the thing that brings it down a bit. But yeah.
It's a good thing we're talking about this, because I would have said this. I have said this in the intro. But I want Elise's take on this. Me watching Conclave with Elise.
The night before the election.
Before the election.
We were not in the best headspace for Conclave.
Elise, your point of view of that screening of Conclave. Your take on what happened that night.
Well, people's tensions were high because night before the election. And the people in our screening were treating it like a slasher movie, like a horror. They were reacting so loudly and so intensely at everything, like audible, oh my god, no, at like not that shocking of things. It was and we did a lot of like side-eyeing at each other, like, what is with this crowd? They are eating this up. And that definitely has an effect on my enjoyment of something, is how the crowd I'm with takes it. The only time this happened to me more intensely and where it didn't affect my thoughts of the movie was when I saw Parasite. Again, people were treating it like a slasher movie. And like there's more like justification for that with Parasite. And thankfully it didn't get in the way of me loving Parasite. But it is fascinating to see how people will just bring that horror movie energy to just about anything.
And I did lean in and say, this is going to win Best Picture. To you.
Did you do that? I don't remember that.
I did.
That seems about right. Okay. That seems about right.
I'll quickly say I think The Brutalist will win Best Picture. I said this in the last episode.
You're sticking to it.
Sticking with Brutalist. It has sat with me. I like it a little bit more each time I think about it. So, and I think it'll connect with the right people. It should connect with when it comes to the voting body. Not only do I think it's great, I think it'll have. We'll see the momentum. That's the thing. It is still up in the air, and a lot could change between now and then. And I'm not going to rule out like a Wicked win or a Conclave win or an Nora win at this point. It's still all up in the air. That's my take. Elise, what about you?
Well, I was going to say The Brutalist, but then that runtime and the sort of deep artsiness of The Brutalist does give me pause, because sometimes the Academy, sometimes they can be quite artsy-fartsy, sometimes they have a real aversion. So I guess I'll finish out the sort of trio and say Anora, just because I love Anora and would love to see something like that win Best Picture. I don't know how likely it is right now, but love Anora, so would love to see that. We've
gone around the table. We have our picks. Best Picture, put it in the bank. But then these picks for me, I think, will change. The pick from I have a feeling things will change. We still have like the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice. Just so much left. Awards wise, precursors, the SAG Awards. We have to wait for those nominees. Anyway, the race continues. The meat of the episode. This is what people tune in for. Okay, the right in between the segments. Is this middle part where all of it lies. This episode, it's the best supporting actors, best supporting actresses of the year. Okay, it's a big one. We're starting off with a big one this year.
Yeah, real prime cut for the meat. This episode.
Now,
what is it? It's like sirloin.
The sirloin. Okay.
I'm immediately out of my depth. I'm already lost.
I don't want to blow up your spot, Elise. You famously don't like sandwich meat.
I don't like cold cuts. I like a sandwich meat that's like good. I don't like wet cold cuts from a prepackaged grocery store. Those are gross.
And I'm fine with that.
But like good deli meat, I'm here for. But yeah, no, it's your prepackaged. No thanks.
This is the good deli meat. The stuff you get behind the counter. The stuff you have to get a butcher.
Girl, huh?
Yeah.
Best supporting actor, best supporting actress. Siobhan, how do you think we should do this? Because we have a guest. My initial thought is one of us should go first, then Elise, then one of us again. What do you think, Siobhan?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
But what do we do first?
Exactly.
The boys or the girls?
How about guest choice, Elise? Should we talk supporting actors first or supporting actresses first?
I don't know how you guys feel. I found one of them much more difficult than the other, and it was not what I expected. I've told Marcelo this 1,000 times. I don't care about actors. I only care about actresses. Men just pass, but this year I found the supporting actor much more interesting and more to choose from, and I had more honorable mentions, and I was kind of like hunting for some options for supporting actress. I think because most of my favorite movies of the year had lead actresses and then a lot of supporting actors, like Anora. But I found actress a little harder, so maybe we start with the more difficult one, but that's how I feel. That. I don't know if you guys felt the same way about it.
No, I like that. I felt the exact same way about supporting actress.
Cool. Yeah, it's tough this year.
Okay, so let's start with supporting actress first then. Now, who goes first? That's the next question. Siobhan?
Next question.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Co-host choice.
I'm going to flip a coin. Do I have a coin around here? No, I have a hockey puck. I'm going to flip a hockey puck. Okay, so if it lands on the top, Marcelo goes.
A Toy Story commemorative hockey puck? No.
It is a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey puck. Cool. Marcelo, you're going first.
All right, supporting actresses. Here we go. And yes, I even looking at this list now, I might switch things around. Okay. So I'm going to zip through my top 5. And then should we do honorable mentions at the end of the top 5? Like after we do our individual?
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Okay. Siobhan's throwing in the towel already.
Just say your honorable mentions now.
Out with it.
Just say them before you talk.
I just say it before I talk. Okay, honorable mentions real quick. Rebecca Ferguson, Dune Part 2. Renée.
Would you like me to take this, Marcelo?
Gosh.
At least she's French. Help me out here.
You're talking about Renata Reinsve?
Yeah, Renata Reinsve from A Different Man.
Reinsve. I think she's Norwegian. I don't think she's French.
Oh, really? Okay.
Isn't The Worst Person in the World was a Norwegian film, so I guess I just assumed she was Norwegian.
My apologies then. I thought she was French.
Well, with that name, you would think so. It kind of sounds French, but yeah, I guess I don't know.
Aubrey Plaza in Megalopolis and Aubrey Plaza in My Old Ass.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, those are my honorable mentions. Okay, now for my top 5. Yeah, this was difficult for me, narrowing it down. But let's go. So my number 5 is Audrea. This one is also difficult for me because I have trouble with R's, with Spanish words. Audrea Arojana, Hitman. I love Hitman.
Oh, yeah. Good choice.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that.
I almost put her in lead actress, but
Yeah.
I don't know how that would shake out. I don't.
this is,
Yeah.
and maybe it was me just grasping for more supporting actress picks,
Yeah,
right?
fair.
But if you'll allow me, yes, this is top 5 best supporting actress performances, number 5. Yeah, she is a good. I guess not to spoil Hitman, eventually ends up being like a foil to Glenn Powell's character in Hitman. She's sexy, she's smart in the movie.
Their chemistry is outrageous.
It is incredible. I'll talk about Glenn Powell in another episode, not to tip my hat, but yeah, I think it's a very performance heavy movie, Hitman, and if you mess up those 2 leads, that movie doesn't work. And yeah, Glenn Powell and Rohana, they make the movie. Like, their sexual chemistry just glides it to the finish line. But yeah, she is incredible in the movie. So that's number 5. Number 4, Tilda Swinton, Problemista. Okay, this is what I have to thank Elise for this one, because it wasn't until Elise brought it up, just talking about great performances of the year.
You've scooped me here, Marcelo. I'm a little.
Well, listen, don't tip your hat just yet, Elise.
You tipped my hat for me.
No, I'm just saying. I wasn't gonna. I was just saying generally. You were talking about performances. I didn't say this is on your list. Okay, we can't start like.
It's too late.
Just starting. But no, like it made me go back to think about that performance. And oh god, I'll keep this really short because I'm sure somebody in this episode will talk about it more. But thinking about it more, what she plays in that movie, she does really well. Okay, moving on. Number 3, I gotta hand it to her. She did it. She won me over. Ariana Grande, Wicked. It's a lovely performance. She's funny. Yes, she can sing. And again, kind of like Hitman, it's like if those 2 performances in that movie don't work, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, that movie doesn't work. But yeah, Grande does the impossible for me and wins me over, and I think, yeah, she is a top performance of the year, supporting actress. Number 3. Number 2, Margaret Qualley, The Substance. I'm very happy that she's getting a lot of acclaim right now. To me, it's a little bit of a surprise because overall, The Substance, and I've talked to Elise about this, I didn't think it was going to be a big contender. Not because the movie's not good. I think the movie's great. I love The Substance. But it just felt too genre for me. It felt too much like just too weird for the Academy. Too weird for Critics' Choice Awards, for critic circles, for all that, highfalutin stuff. But it's winning people over, and it looks very much likely that Qualley will get a Best Supporting Actress nomination, which I'm happy for, because she deserves it. She's incredible in The Substance. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. If those 2 performances don't work, the 2 in The Substance, Qualley and Demi Moore, if they're miscast, that movie doesn't work. So she's essential to that movie. She's been number 2 of the year. Margaret Qualley, The Substance. My number 1, I'm interested to see if either of you will have this on your list or in your honorable mentions, but this has been my number 1 for months since this movie came out, since the beginning of the year. Katie O'Brien in Love Lies Bleeding. Now, I know she might be the co-lead in that movie, in Love Lies Bleeding, but again, not to tip my hat for a future episode, but Kristen Stewart, I'm going to call lead, and Katie O'Brien is supporting. I love Love Lies Bleeding. like a spoiler for future episodes, it'll come up a lot. It's right near the top for me of best films of the year, and it's not only like just an emotionally powerful performance. It's physically demanding. What she puts her body through just to be in that shape, just for the story's sake, like that's incredible. But also emotionally, it really connected with me. So yeah, so when it comes to best supporting actresses of the year, performance-wise, she's my number one. And she's been my number one for months since that movie came out. I think the movie came out like in February or March, so she's been up top for me. That's my top 5. I'm done talking for a while.
Great stuff, Marcelo. Great stuff. Elise?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. There's going to be quite a bit of crossover, which I guess makes sense. We see most movies together. So, I will say this is a blanket apology. I have not seen The Substance yet because I am a horror coward. I can usually sort of like, I don't know, put on my big girl pants for like 1 or 2 a year. So if it gets into Oscars, I will watch it. But I am very squeamish, so I did not see The Substance, was on the fence about seeing it, and now I'm going to have to. So I will have no Substance mentions, just FYI. Okay, so supporting actress. Honorable mentions, I'll do those first. I also said Rebecca Ferguson from Dune Part 2, because I have Dune Part 2 pretty high on my list, but don't really have any of the actors to talk about, which is always kind of weird when there's a movie I really like, but I'm not talking about the performances. It kind of makes me wonder, like, what my problem is. I also have Aubrey Plaza in My Old Ass. I did not think about doing a double with My Old Ass and Megalopolis, but I like that. I think that's fun, so go ahead and throw Megalopolis in there, too. I think we're both sort of a little more positive on Megalopolis than most folks. I found it fun and chaotic and ridiculous in just the right way.
More so than Siobhan, apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
I went in with low expectations. I think that always helps. If your expectations are in the gutter, then, you know, it's only up from there. Speaking of which, no, I'm just kidding. So my number 5 is Isabella Rossellini, but not from Conclave, from Problemista. And that's mostly just me being a troll. That's not, yeah. So, because I think it's just her voice. I don't think she ever actually appears. She's just the narrator. But I love her as a narrator. She's, you know, she's great. I love her in almost anything. She is great in Conclave. It's just, you know, one very short scene. But other people have, you know, talked about the category fraud there, and I don't need to go into it. At number 4, I have Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding, because I also loved that movie. And you're right, I hadn't really considered the sort of physical necessity of that for her. And we talk about with actors a lot, this, oh, they lost 40 pounds or they, you know, bulked up like crazy. But people don't really talk about that as much with actresses. Except if they, like, made themselves ugly for a role, you know, then the people love talking about that. But there's not as much chat about physical transformation with actresses, and she really puts her body on the line for that. And she's great in it, and she is such a compelling screen presence. If for no other reason, she's just, like, impossible to look away from. Like, you understand why Kristen Stewart does crazy shit for her in Love Lies Bleeding. Yeah, my number 3... This is another one where the expectations were in the absolute gutter. I also put Ariana Grande from Wicked. I've been on, I mean, you can listen to our entire episode about Wicked on Stage to Screen, but I was really expecting nothing good from her. I go into it in that episode. I don't need to get into it here, but she, again, transformation. She really embodies that character. It clearly meant a lot to her, and I think she does a wonderful job, and her chemistry is fantastic with, at the very least, with Cynthia Erivo, but with other castmates as well. So, at number 2, I have Joan Chen from DD. Just a really sweet, unselfish role. She's just playing such a lovely mother whose son is being a little shit to her the whole time, and I think she gets some lovely moments to play the lack of patience with a shitty 12-year-old son, or however old he's supposed to be, 14, I think. And she does it beautifully. And we had been watching Twin Peaks when that movie came out, and so it was so nice to see her in a different role and doing something else. And she's just really lovely in Dee Dee, in a movie I liked quite a lot. So, and then my number one, which again, my hat was tipped for me, but my number one is Tilda Swinton in Problemista. I think she is so stupid funny in that movie, she's playing like the worst imaginable Karen, just this terrible, I bulldoze past everyone in front of me. And I remember I saw somebody's Letterboxd review that was like, basically like be the difficult woman you wish to see in the world. And it's like, yeah, she's not a character you're supposed to like or sympathize with, and she plays it just so. But you also see why the main character Ale is like, I gotta be more like her. I need to have the confidence of a mediocre white woman. I need to just like summon this. And I think that movie is, I really wish that movie had gotten more attention. I think it's really unique and different and fun. And kind of, got the shaft from the strikes. But yeah, see Problemista if you haven't. Tilda Swinton is freaking hilarious in it. So anyway, that's my list.
Good picks.
Very cool. Very cool. Good stuff. I didn't know Joan Chen was in anything this year. That's cool.
Yeah.
She's in Dee Dee.
She is on my list for honorable mentions, but I just didn't mention her. But yeah, also I kind of knew she was going to come up anyway. Yeah. But yeah, she's really good in Dee Dee. Yeah, I kind of wish that movie had gotten more attention.
Yeah, it was a Sundance movie that won some awards. And it did get a theatrical, which I was pleased to see. And you saw it in the theater, right, Marcelo? I saw it through a Sundance screener that a friend gave me.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so seek it out. I think it's streaming now, though I'm not sure where. But it's just a sweet. It's very Sundancey. It's a very small movie about a kid in the early 2000s learning to like make videos, and he hangs out with like skater bros, and it's for anyone around our age. It's a lot of like early 2000s nostalgia as well. But it's done well. It's one of the better versions of that kind of really Sundancey type of movie. It's very sweet.
There you go. Siobhan, it's up to you now.
Okay, finishing off the supporting actresses. No honorable mentions from me. I just got my top 5. My number 5, DeWanda Wise in Pool Man.
A movie I've not seen, but I'm interested to see.
Pool Man is fine. It's just kind of like a comedic neo-noir that kind of it feels like it's going for similar vibes that like Under the Silver Lake had, just like less supernatural stuff, and I don't think it's very successful. Or it's also going for like a Big Lebowski thing, and it's not very successful, but it's fine. It's good enough. DeWanda Wise plays kind of like the femme fatale character, and she is so alluring and fun, and her eyes, I can't get over her eyes. They're like the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And like, that's not even part of her performance. That's just her as a person. Google her. They really, I think about them all the time. They haunt me. And, so yeah, DeWanda Wise's eyes in Pool Man.
Whoa, you're not kidding. I just Google imaged.
Yeah, wow. Like what? How does she look like that?
Wow, yeah. That's the genetic lottery. That's crazy. God, she's. I can't keep looking at these photos. I have to focus on the task at hand. She's stunning. You are not wrong.
They portray them so beautifully in the film too. Oh my god.
That's the Chris Pine movie with the. Chris Pine, I don't know much about it. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Number 4, Salika in Trap.
Oh,
Lady Raven.
Lady Raven herself.
She, I don't know. Does she do the performance? Does she do the singing and stuff? It doesn't really.
She does, yeah.
Does she?
I mean, yeah. She. Well, you're talking about M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. She. I mean, have we talked about Trap on this show, Siobhan? I can't remember. Or our show. No, but
I think
it's.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly say it's interesting. I think overall in a good way that M. Night Shyamalan made a movie where his daughter is a star who is a musician when she's actually in real life a musician, and she made her own music and released her own album.
I love that kind of stuff.
Overall, I'm like, I'm okay with it. Yeah.
What a good dad. That's lovely.
Yeah.
And then also makes her like the hero in the third act, and
yes,
she has to like actually act, and I think she's very charming and compelling when she's doing that. I really, really enjoyed her performance in Trap, the movie. Okay, number 3, Toni Collette, juror number 2.
Ah, yes.
Juror number 2. We all know Toni Collette. We all know how good of an actress that Toni Collette is, right? And this film is very much an ensemble film. I'm not going to be picking any other, for even supporting actor, any other people in the ensemble, because I think Toni Collette kind of sums up everything within her performance, her character arc. She personifies the whole thesis of the movie. Like she's got this hard-ass demeanor, just doing her job, doesn't really care. She's just trying to move on to the next thing, to her political career. Something just fell over in here. And eventually, as the trial goes on, she starts to experience kind of a crisis of faith. Is she doing the right thing? I don't know. And then you don't know what direction she's going to go. Now the cat's meowing.
Are you being attacked?
Everything's just breaking down over here. And the cat... What is going on? Hey, how did you get in here?
Put that gun down.
Closed. How'd you
Twist. She's been there the whole time.
Okay, well, I'll deal with that in a second. But anyway, Toni Collette, and then in the end, she turns around and does the right thing. And like, I don't know, she again personifies the whole thesis of the movie along with a very incredible performance.
I haven't seen juror number 2 yet, but I love her so much. She's so good in everything. Did she have any Oscar nominations? I know she didn't get it for Hereditary, which was...
She should have for Hereditary, but no.
She has one for The Sixth Sense.
Oh, wow, that's a long time ago now.
I'll look it up just to make sure.
She deserves another. She's so good.
She has one nomination for The Sixth Sense, Best Supporting Actress. Yeah.
Look at your memory. That's great. Yeah, she deserves another. She needs another at bat. She's made so many great movies.
Okay. Number 2. You both relegated her to honorable mention status. And I just don't think that's right. I think Aubrey Plaza in Megalopolis was doing... Yeah.
I'm pumping my fist, Siobhan. Yes.
Absolutely.
She's the best part by a mile.
The best part
we're the cowards.
We are the cowards.
You two are cowards. Yes.
She's had a great year.
I didn't even like Megalopolis.
Yeah, but you liked her?
I liked about 2 things about Megalopolis, and you'll hear me talk about them. And Aubrey Plaza, she was just insane performance. Really over the top, catty, exactly what that movie needed. I think every actor really came to play for this movie. They really just met it. They met the film. They all got it. I didn't get it, but they got it. But nobody got it harder than Aubrey Plaza.
She's so
and
good.
The actor I'll talk about later.
She is so good.
Incredible. Feels like the performance she's kind of been building towards, like her whole career. Like that kind of crazy, insane person. Whatever. Number 1. Okay, this one, it might be a cheat. I also had a problem finding supporting actresses. I said that already. In my head, I'm going to guess she would not be being nominated for supporting. But in my head, as I read the movie, I call her a supporting actress. And that is Julianne Nicholson in Janet Planet.
I really want to see.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet? I watched that on a plane, so you haven't seen that one yet. Yeah.
Do you agree with me, Elise?
Is that the mother in Janet Planet?
The mother, yes.
Yes, I think your interpretation is correct. Who knows how an awards body would actually do it, but I think your interpretation is correct because everything is from the daughter's perspective.
Yes, I would call the daughter the lead.
You're right.
Even though it is named after the mother, but
but that's because the daughter is orbiting around the planet.
Yes.
Just unbelievable, charisma and chaos that is her mother. So good call. I didn't even think about Janet Planet. Really good call. She's great in that. I watched that on a plane, so I was maybe a little tired for it. And I always struggle with any movie with a kid in a central role. I just
me too.
I struggle with children in general. But she's fantastic in it, and she sells the whole premise that this woman is just a complete, like, bulldozer of a woman in these people's lives. Good call. Excellent call.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Yeah, it's a very lived-in, kind of understated, naturalistic performance.
Yeah.
Tired, depressed, single mom. But she is a very good mom. She's trying her best. Trying to invite other people into her lives, and it just never goes well.
Yeah.
She maybe sabotages it in some way. Keep going.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful sort of exploration of the kind of woman that is so appealing to other people, but just has miserable taste in other people, and she just keeps bringing in people into her life that are not right for her and her daughter. And if she could just like be strong enough in herself to be okay.
Wow.
Being alone, she and her daughter could have this beautiful life in their gorgeous house that in the middle of the woods.
You are summarizing this for me way better than I
great.
could have.
I haven't really given that movie a ton of thought. I liked it. But again, the thing with like a kid at the center of a film always is a struggle for me. But like the mother's performance is really special and really something else. So you've given me a lot to think about, Siobhan. Thank you.
The movie, my favorite thing about the movie is how like it kind of perfectly captures these very specific like late summer lazy vibes before you got to go back to school kind of thing. And I just think Janet's whole demeanor in the movie perfectly brings that to life because she completely embodies that.
Excellent call. Totally agree.
And a great mother performance on film this year. Okay, we can move on, I guess.
Siobhan, great job, as always.
Thank you so much, Marcelo.
And now we move on to supporting actors.
The man.
The man.
And I guess I go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what you suggested, Marcelo. So
we switch back. Okay.
We switch.
Great. Perfect. I'm happy to talk more. Now, I do have some honorable mention from the men today because, God damn it, did they just bring it this year?
Men.
No,
yes.
Stop that.
No.
No referencing that cursed television show.
I'm looking through here to see if there's any connection to that, and I don't think there is. Okay, so originally when I built my top 5, I wanted to put this man on the list 2 times. And as I kept going, as I watched more movies, I was like, I couldn't justify it anymore, and he ended up coming off the list entirely. But I need to give a big special shout out to Dan Stevens in both Cuckoo and Abigail.
Yes. Abigail. 2
equally wacky, insane performances, just utilized in different ways. Cuckoo, it's a lot scarier, and in Abigail, it's hilarious. I love Dan Stevens. I love what he's doing. He has that Charlotte Copley energy that Marcelo and I have been dying to find again. Yeah, I do believe that. Weird guy, like him a lot. Anybody else? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, number 5. This is not the supporting actor from this movie that's been getting the attention, but this is the supporting actor from this movie that stands out to me the most whenever I think about the movie. It's Mark Edelstein in Anora. I've heard people call it one note, but I like that one note. Like he is just this asshole douchebag party boy,
shitty little bastard.
Who fucks over other people's lives and doesn't care.
Because that's what rich people do.
He just wants to party, and God damn it, I fell for it. I found him charming. I thought, like, maybe. And no, it didn't. No, he is. I should not have fallen for it. I should have seen what was before my eyes, but I didn't, because this guy is just so darn charming, and funny and everything. Mark Edelstein, Anora. Number 4, Nathan Faustin from The People's Joker played the Penguin.
Yes.
He's maybe my favorite individual piece of the movie. He's the comedic sidekick to Vera's whole adventure, and I think he plays that role really well. He's very, very funny. Physical comedy and delivery of jokes. And he reprised his role in a little side thing that they put out called The Wedding of Vera Drew and the Joker. And I think he's a very funny guy. I had never heard of him before this, and he is probably the one member of the People's Joker cast that I have not met. So he's retained his magic to me. He's the Penguin. All right. Number 3. Complicated one, but a performance I liked a lot. Carlos Diaz in Conclave. This is the idealistic nature of the film, kind of represented in one guy. And I like that. He carries that on his shoulders. He feels pure. He feels good. He feels like the one actually good person there. And even amongst all the chaos, he retains that energy. One of the most... I have an insane fact about this guy. He started acting in 2020.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
He had never acted before, and
wow.
He is an architect, and that is still his job. He's just also in the Best Picture winner this year.
Wow.
The key to that movie.
He is. He does have that, like, you know how some people just have a presence that people just listen to them? Like, it's just something, the tone of their voice, the way they carry themselves. And it's something you can't, like, train into yourself. You either have it or you don't. He's got that. And you do buy that, like, whether or not it's his, congregation of people or whoever it is in his orbit, you get that they would just be like, yes, I will listen to what you say.
Yeah, he just has this aura about him.
Gravitas, I guess. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And ultimately, he is, like, the heart of the film, and he carries that. He performs that very well. All right. Number 2. All right, I brought up a canceled actor last year in my supporting actor list. That one was a lot more recent and touchy. This one, still very touchy and bad. But
I'm worried about this.
Look, man.
Has Kevin Spacey been in anything?
He's the male version of Aubrey Plaza in Megalopolis to me.
Oh, yes.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I think he's just doing the exact same, like, playing into the absolute insanity of that movie. Doing his different dress-ups, like, constantly wearing different outfits and, like, all so garish and outlandish and such a huge presence. He's always presenting to everybody. And, God, I just loved him every second he was on screen. Man. In my honorable mentions, I also had Jon Voight. It's like, I don't know, man. That's what this movie is. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna
he's
pretend.
Totally compelling. I had the same thought watching that movie. Just like, this fucking guy. He's. I hate that he's got something, but he's got something.
He's got something. He's a good actor. I don't know.
And the Disney machine fucks you up, so maybe with the right therapy, he could be okay. But yeah, anyway.
Maybe if we'd gone with Richard Kelly's script for Holes. Okay. Number 1. No, nobody else is going to say this. John Cena in Ricky Stenicki.
What the fuck? Okay, no, nobody saw this coming. Not even me. I host the show with you.
I don't know this.
Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, explain.
Let me explain. Okay, the plot hinges on this made up person called Ricky Stenicki that these 3 friends have used since they were young boys to get themselves out of trouble. They blame Ricky Stenicki. Ricky Stenicki did it, and as they grow up and get jobs and wives, Ricky Stenicki is their friend who lives far away. He works for Greenpeace or something, and he has cancer. And like whenever he's around town, it's like, oh, we all got to go. You know, we're not going to go to your grandfather's anniversary party. We got to go hang out with Ricky Stenicki. Sorry. They basically use him as a get out of jail free card for everything throughout their entire lives. And then they eventually get confronted with with like having to bring Ricky Stenicki to a real life function. So they have to find a real person and train him to be Ricky Stenicki. Who they find is John Cena. They find him at a comedy club or a strip club. I don't know. They find him at a comedy club on stage. The first time we ever see him, he is performing as Rock Hard Rod, performing Jizz Jams, which are entirely masturbation-themed parody songs. And he's dressing up like Devo and Alice Cooper and Britney Spears and doing parodies of their songs about masturbation. And it is extremely ridiculous and funny. Like I laughed very hard at it. I even pulled up the clip last night just to reconfirm if I thought it was still funny. I did. I laughed very hard at these stupid parody songs. And so he's this down on his luck, like kind of actor-y guy. And then they approach him, give him the job, and he does the job perfectly. And they, and then when they don't need him anymore, he sticks around and ends up worming his way into their lives entirely to the point where he becomes basically the number 2 man at the company that they work for. And like, so all of this hinges on needing a very charismatic person. You need somebody that you could believe could walk into any situation and instantly be lovable, likable enough to ingratiate themselves into their lives within 30 seconds of meeting them. And John Cena does that perfectly. He is so likable, charming, funny. God, he is so amazing in the movie. It's a great comedic performance that I kind of wish anybody else would mention. But you know, nobody saw this movie because it was like an Amazon original by the Farrelly brother, or one Farrelly brother. One Farrelly brother. So you know, why would they watch it? Like, it's not a great movie. He makes it great.
And he's your number 1 supporting actor of the year.
Nice.
Siobhan?
Comedy performances do not get enough love.
No, listen,
Period.
I haven't seen the movie, but I believe it. I've been won over by John Cena, like, in the last few years. Like, for sure, like, Peacemaker, I think, is, like, maybe, like, my favorite,
oh my God, yeah,
like, DC thing, like, since the, you know, that era of DC.
That's another thing is, like, I don't think John Cena is an amazing actor. I think John Cena is an amazing imitator. He can come in and do whatever role you want and kill it because, like, I don't know, it feels like he can mimic, like, it feels like he's the master of mimicry. Like, he's perfectly, I don't know, basing it off of something else or whatever. And that's the character of Ricky Stenicki completely.
Siobhan, great top 5.
Thank you so much.
Incredible.
Elise.
Now, Elise.
The lovely Elise.
Yeah, all right.
Supporting actors
The boys of the year.
The boys.
The boys. Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, I love John Cena in Sisters, the Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. Yeah.
Yes.
So I see where you're coming from, where he just flies in and makes something watchable. I can absolutely see that for John Cena. All right, I will start with my honorable mention. Another sort of trolly one here. Denzel Washington in Gladiator 2, because it was the only thing I liked about Gladiator 2. So I'll leave that there. I thought the movie was boring, and I thought it was especially boring when he wasn't on screen. So thank you, Denzel, for flying in and doing exactly what you do. I won't be mad if he gets a nomination because, yeah, he's just Denzeling all over the place, and it's a lot of fun. Another honorable mention I have is, and this is kind of a cheat as well, but I said all three guys from Anora, because I was really having trouble picking between the three sort of like muscle guys, like the enforcers. And I think they work so well as a trio. The sort of main one, the goofy fuck up, and then the like sweet one. And it makes sense that the sweet one is getting all the attention, the Yura Borisov, but the other two are so funny too. I'm going to butcher these names. Karen Karagulian, Vache Tovmasyan. I think those are the three sort of, the muscle. I think they're all hilarious and work so well together. So all three guys from Anora, because I couldn't pick. All right, number 5, Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. He is doing a lot in The Brutalist. He's again that sort of charismatic piece of shit, but also you get why people are drawn into his orbit. But also he's a piece of shit. And it took me a while to realize it was Guy Pearce because I forgot he was in the movie. And I just thought he was really doing something pretty different from what I'd seen from him in a while. Anyway, so Guy Pearce. Mike Feist from Challengers. We looked this up. We double checked who they're running where for Challengers, because I think it does make sense that Feist is the supporting and that the other two are lead actor and actress. But I don't think it works without somebody like Mike Feist. That literal threesome needs to have. You need to understand the appeal of all three and why different combos of this threesome make sense and why everyone's attracted to everybody else. And I think it was nice to see something really different from him too. I think the only other thing I'd seen him in was West Side Story, where he's, just playing a terrifying, somewhat dirtbag, but also kind of sensitive soul on the edge of sanity. So it's nice to see the range from Mike Feist. All right, number 3, I have Sean San Jose from Sing Sing. I think a lot has been said about the actoriness of the two who are actors versus the rest who this was their first time on screen. When I watched Sing Sing, I didn't get that from Sean San Jose. I wouldn't have, if you had told me that only Coleman Domingo was the only like trained actor in it, and because he was the one I knew going in, I would have believed it, because I thought Sean San Jose had a really naturalistic performance. I thought he fit in really beautifully with the other guys that this was their first time on screen because they were part of this inmate program. And I don't think you need all of that back knowledge of the way Sing Sing was created and shot, etc., to get so much from all the performances. So, Sean San Jose, and I think his, spoilers for Sing Sing, but his, what happens to him sort of partway through the movie, I think really is a big part of the weight of the movie. So I think you need that. I think he does it, what is asked of him, he does just beautifully. He's really got a warmth in his eyes and in his, demeanor that I think these very tortured men need from at least somebody in their immediate circle, and especially the main two guys that we follow. Which leads me to number 2, which is Clarence Macklin, also from Sing Sing. Sing Sing had a big impact on me. You'd already seen it, Marcelo, when we went to go see it.
Yeah.
And so I was going in cold. You had said it was one of your favorite of the year. You'd seen it a while before, maybe like 6 months, because you saw it at some festival.
At South by, yeah.
South by, right. So I knew going in that you had loved it. It was getting a lot of good attention. I knew some of the background. And so sometimes coming in with that much baggage isn't great for me for a movie, but it's really grown on me since we saw it. It's snuck up in my estimation. And Clarence Macklin just delivers such an unbelievable kind of performance. I really hope he gets attention this season. It seems like he will. He's been the one most talked about in addition to Coleman Domingo. And it's a big ask for a movie to just be about a bunch of dudes poorly trying to feel their feelings for me to care about it, because men being bad at feelings is one of my least favorite topics in film, because I'm sick of it by now. Like, just figure out how to feel your feelings and let's go to therapy perhaps instead of making us watch a whole movie about it. But I loved this movie, and I thought it handled that well, and it didn't make it so it was much more understandable why these guys struggle to show any sort of vulnerability, any sort of perceived weakness. It's for safety in this environment. And Macklin, he really carries so much of that with his performance, and he just does it beautifully. And my number one is kind of boring, but it's been my number one since like January when we saw it, and that's Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. It's looking like at least of my list, it's the lock for a nomination at the Oscars, and I think he deserves it. I think it shows everything that he can do, what a like live wire he is as a performer, and also maybe as a person. Sometimes when I see him in interviews, I'm like, you're on the border of sanity, aren't you, my man? In a good way, in a I'm a dad who hasn't slept in 4 years kind of way, not in like a scary way, but anyway, we saw this, a friend gave us a screener login to Sundance, and so we were able to watch A Real Pain way back in January, and I've thought about it ever since. I've thought about his performance, the movie itself. It's just, I think everything about that totally works. And again, we've talked a few times about like a movie not working without the right chemistry, and you don't have a movie if you don't have the exact right person in that role in A Real Pain. Benji, I think his character's name is. And the Eisenberg character, I could see a lot of guys playing that and playing it well. Of course, Eisenberg wrote it, so it makes sense that he wanted to perform it. It's about his experience. But I could see a lot of guys doing that well. Any kind of actor, really. But I think with the Kieran Culkin character, you just have to have somebody who can ride that razor-thin edge between charisma and just absolute bullshit and makes you want to wring their neck. And that's really hard to play. It's really hard to do. So... I know it's kind of a boring answer because he's the most likely to get a nomination, and I think the front runner to win right now. So, But whatever, I still think it's just about the best performance I've seen this year. So, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain.
Amazing, yeah, not boring at all if you ask me.
Not at all. Not at all.
And because let me get into my picks, and you see why
these will be boring.
Get a pillow. Get a nice hot cup of tea, that sleepy time tea. My supporting actors. Okay, so I want to narrow down my honorable mentions as much as possible because I have a few. Guy Pearce for me is an honorable mention in the Brew list. I'll just mirror a lot of what Elise said. Like, he does a lot. I love seeing Guy Pearce be in this type of role. Because I think he is a phenomenal actor, and he brings his own like charisma to that. And he's one aspect of the movie I go back to, and I go, God, this the amount of villainy he just chooses the scenery through the entire movie with that villainy, and I think he does it well. Willem Dafoe, not in one but in two movies, Willem Dafoe in Nosferatu, Willem Dafoe in Kinds of Kindness.
Nice.
He's having a ball in both. I'll just speed through some of these. Dennis Quaid in The Substance, I think, is really good at being a slimy TV producer. People, when they mention The Substance and just how disgusting it is, they mention like the body horror, but they also mention the one scene where Dennis Quaid eats a bunch of shrimp in front of Demi Moore's character. It is truly one of the most disgusting things I've seen this year. To say it, look forward to that, Elise, when we eventually see The Substance.
You're not helping your case to get me to watch The Substance.
It is disgusting.
I'm so easily grossed out. I won't eat for a day if we see this.
Well, yeah, get ready. So those are my honorable mentions. And then now my top 5. As mentioned by Siobhan, I think this was in her honorable mentions.
What?
Dan Stevens' Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Okay, Dan Stevens. I'm gonna just repeat what Siobhan was saying. I love the guy. He's been doing a lot of genre stuff in the last few years, and also I rewatched The Guest, which celebrated its 10th year anniversary this year. I love the guy. I love the wild choices he makes as just an actor and a performer, just picking the roles and actually being in these movies. And Cuckoo just embodies like the kind of weird. And it's funny that Siobhan said this earlier. The weird Sharto Copley-esque nature of a performance I enjoy. Like, that is what I like in a supporting actor. So that's why I'm picking Dan Stevens in Cuckoo for my number 5, because he's such a weirdo in that. I love it.
Such a freak. Can I ask you what you thought of him in Abigail?
I did like him in Abigail. I like that movie a lot. It's one that hasn't really stuck with me as much as like Cuckoo, because I love Cuckoo. But yeah, I think he does the same sort of thing in Abigail with like a different accent. I forget he does.
It's like more of a New York accent.
Yeah, like a New York Brooklyn sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love what he's doing there too. But Cuckoo for me, because of the entire movie being what it is, like atmospheric, some weird nightmare dream, and he plays a central role as like a villain in that movie, and yeah, that's why he's my number 5. My number 4, I'm going to be repeating a lot of what Elise said just now. Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. Yeah, having seen this last January, I was on the show, Siobhan, last year, talking about how get ready for a Kieran Culkin Oscar nomination and even a win. I was calling it back then because he's the real deal in A Real Pain. He I just heard this earlier, like on a podcast, where they were complaining, like, Kieran Culkin's just playing the same thing over and over. It's like, yeah, but the thing he's doing is really great. It's like he like in A Real Pain and in Succession, he's playing like these like abrasive, loud, like insular yet like out there characters, but it just works. Especially works in A Real Pain, and I'm all for him. Carrying this acclaim to an Oscar win. Like that's as much as I love Kieran Culkin in this performance. My number 4 of the year, though, because like there's 3 more that are right above him. My number 3, Adam Pearson in A Different Man. I love A Different Man. It's one I've seen now, I think, 2 or 3 times. I think Elise and I went once. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was in an honorable mention for me for a while. I eventually felt I had too many, so I knocked him off.
It was rough getting this particular list together, but I felt like I had to put him in there because he's an essential part in A Different Man. Spoiler alert, I'll talk about Sebastian Stan in another episode, but yeah, Adam Pearson is such a strong supporting like actor in that role, because in real life he has neurofibromatosis, but he is just an incredible presence in that movie. The purpose for him in that movie is to be like a real life like shining like beacon of like humanity in that one that Sebastian Stan looks at and is envious of. And Pearson absolutely plays it to a T. So he's essential in that movie. And I love those two together in scenes. It cracks me up. But yeah, I'll talk about Sebastian Stan in another episode. But Adam Pearson, essential in that movie. So he makes my number 3. My number 2... I'm kind of surprised, and not really surprised, that I haven't heard this name yet. But... Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa.
Okay. I was actually just thinking I was surprised it didn't come up.
Kind of for the same reasons you picked John Cena as your number 1, Siobhan. Like, this is why I think Hemsworth is my number 2. Because I think he's funny in Furiosa, but also he's menacing.
Yeah.
That movie uses him quite well, like I think better than most of the Marvel movies is in.
Yeah.
Like I want to see him do like these like weirder performances, these huge gravitas performances, and yeah, he's a huge reason why I like that movie, Furiosa. I will mention Furiosa in other categories, but this might be the only one that falls into an acting category for me. Sorry. Anya Taylor-Joy. Hemsworth, I think, is the performance of that movie that I really connect with. He was number 2.
It's very dynamic, like comedic, scary, imposing, weak, shows weakness. Like it's a really great performance. It is.
It's such a good performance. I think it kind of hurts the movie sometimes because it's supposed to be Furiosa's movie, and he just kind of yoinks it away from her.
True.
In a way that I mean, he's great. But yeah, I think it is sort of a problem of the movie that he's so much more fun and dynamic than our protagonist. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah. He's number 2. I'm number 1. Clarence Macklin in Sing Sing.
Nice.
Yeah. Just to kind of go over what Elise said. And I talked about this on, I think, this show last year. Actually, back in March, Siobhan. Sing Sing. I saw it at South by. I was blown away. And yeah, I kind of like Kaylee O'Brien. When I saw Love Lies Bleeding earlier in the year, when I saw Sing Sing, Macklin's performance has stuck with me since then, and he's been my number 1 since then. And just a rich performance that alongside Coleman Domingo, those two, their emotional connection throughout the movie, their arc, that's one big part that gets me, because he's at times scary. But then he has this heartfelt nature behind his eyes, and you really do feel for him throughout the entire thing. And he, by the end, he comes around and becomes essentially not necessarily a new person, but he becomes a connective tissue within this group that you kind of didn't expect. But yeah, anyway, but it's again. I've loved Sing Sing for a while. I'm now happily surprised that it's getting back in the conversation with awards talk. And yeah, I'm all for Macklin getting an Oscar nomination for this. But yeah, he's been number 1 supporting actor of the year. There you go. That's it. Supporting actor, supporting actresses.
Incredible stuff.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
I really did it.
Good job. Siobhan, I'm looking at the timer.
Well,
we have a few more minutes. Should we go through the Discord picks? How many Discord picks do we have?
We have 6 ballots, 6 different people.
6 people. Okay, that's not bad.
It's
We can zip through these if it's okay with Elise.
If our lovely guest would stick around if she wants to.
Yeah, I'm here for the ride, guys. Whatever.
All right, let's make fun of some people.
So I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Who are these people that you're going to talk about, Siobhan? Where do they come from? Where do they hang out? Where do they talk film at?
We provide a service. We provide a safe haven for the dregs of humanity that want to talk about film. And it's called the Talk Film Society Discord. And the way to access it is by going to talkfilmsociety.com/Discord. Or by reaching out via some underground network. We can give you a link to the Discord. And we've seen some real rough and tumble folks come and go, but the ones that have stuck around, we've really whipped them into shape. We've made them better people. And we go to the Talk Awards. We have a channel in there in talkfilmsociety.com/Discord where we talk. It's all about the awards season, the glitz and the glamour. And every week I like to ask the people in there if they would like to give us their choices for the topic of the week, this week being Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. So we can get into what their picks were if you want it.
Let's do it. Let's go through it.
Zephyr.
Fly
away on my Zephyr. She says, Best Supporting Actor, Austin Butler in Dune Part 2, for sure. Good performance. Committed. Yeah, we can comment on these if you want, or I can leave a space, or we can just move on. I don't know. Channing Tatum in Deadpool and Wolverine. I love it.
Okay. Sure.
No comment.
A glimpse into a thing that I really wanted for a decade. It was just nice to see that. And yeah, he made the case for it. He made the case for, why the hell not do it now? We can still do it now. Anyway, Javier Bardem, Dune Part 2.
Yes. Yeah, that's one almost made my honorable mentions, yeah.
I had that one on my list for a while. He's great in it.
And then she also has Best Supporting Actresses, Halsey in Maxine, which I haven't seen yet. No. Okay.
You can keep going.
I didn't see it.
Going.
Bridget Lundy Payne in I Saw the TV Glow. Haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Oh wait, you haven't seen I Saw the TV Glow yet. Okay.
I haven't yet. No,
It's pretty great. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's issues there for me, but yeah. I promise to watch it by the end of this series before we do Best Picture. But like I'm putting it off, and I have been for a long time.
I get it.
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson from Dune Part 2. You both had her in your honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Adele Exarchopoulos, Inside Out 2.
Interesting.
Who she was.
Okay.
What emotion was she?
She's ennui.
Ennui. Okay.
It's kind of fun. It's one of the funnier parts of that movie. That's
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Our friend Joey, who will be or has been on this show, I don't know. Will be on this show soon, talking about animated movies. With the caveat that I haven't seen Conclave and many other big Oscar movies. Okay, Joey, you don't have to do that. You did this last year.
Dude,
you don't need to give qualifiers.
Listen, the thing that we're keeping tab of who's making mistakes here in the Discord. Okay, if you add commentary, that just wastes our time. That's too much.
Is this part of the bit that people submit these things knowing you're going to make fun of them? Is this like...
Well,
I hope they know. I hope they listen to this.
Right,
some of them do know.
But they're not doing this like earnestly. It's
sure.
part of like like asking a drag queen to make fun of you. Is that what's going on here?
It's exactly what's happening.
For some people, yes.
All right, just making sure.
We are making fun of these people, and they know
I hedged what I said by saying I hadn't seen The Substance. So,
What? This guy hasn't seen Conclave.
Well.
Okay. Best Supporting Actor, Yuri Borisov, Anora. Another vote for Yuri. Denzel Washington, Gladiator 2. That was a little surprise. I thought that one would be on your list, Marcelo.
Honorable mention, but did not make my list.
The animation guy proves it once again. Brian Tyree Henry in Transformers 1.
Ah, yes. That movie.
Cedric Yarborough in Juror Number 2. A very affecting performance.
I see Juror Number 2.
He's good. It's currently on Max.
You should.
Yeah.
Yep. Just dropped on Max. That's how I saw it the other day.
I'll watch that too.
I think yesterday. But yeah, Cedric, he has a small role. He doesn't. I wish he had a little more screen time, but he is very affecting with what time he has. He uses it very well. Javier Bardem, Dune 2. Now, his best supporting actresses. Aubrey Plaza in Megalopolis.
Yep.
Ariana Grande, Wicked.
The wickedly good Ariana Grande.
Nope.
Katie, well, it'd be like, what would it be? It'd be like gravy Anders. I don't know. Katie O'Brien, Love Lies Bleeding.
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Toni Collette, Juror Number 2, got back up there, and Charlie Fraser in Furiosa. Who is that? Fraser?
Yeah, I forget who she plays.
I don't remember.
Not
like
a great
another
sign
girl.
about Furiosa.
Like the mother.
Sorry,
maybe?
Joey.
What? That's not really... I don't know if Joey is who you need to apologize to, or the makers of Furiosa.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck you, Joey. Yeah. I'm kidding. Joey's good.
Fuck off, Joey. Jay McMillan.
Good friend, Joey.
Another future guest of this show.
Yeah.
Best supporting actor, Yura Borisov in Anora. Elvis Nolasco in Mr. Crockett. I did think about watching Mr. Crockett before this, but I didn't.
Mr. Crockett.
Mr. Crockett. Yeah, it's about like it's like a Mr. Rogers thing, but it's like a horror. I don't know.
Well, that's the first stump of the season. I'm not sure what that is.
Me neither.
Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. Chris Hemsworth, Furiosa. I was reading the next one.
Okay. He's in Saturday Night?
Tommy Dewey's in Saturday Night. Who's he play? Chevy Chase.
Tommy
Is that Chevy Chase?
He's Chevy Chase?
Is he Lorne Michaels?
Okay, no. You don't
Tommy
know.
Dewey?
No, Lauren is Gabriel, whatever his last name is.
Gabriel LaBelle?
LaBelle, yeah, that's Lauren. I'm pulling up Saturday Night.
Oh, is it really? It's from the Fabelmans kid?
Little baby Fabelmans, yeah, is
Wow.
Lorne. Who was the name? Sorry?
Tommy Dewey. Like Dewey Cox.
Michael O'Donoghue.
Oh, he's the writer. He's the
Oh. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mostly know this guy from the Mindy Project.
Okay.
Oh, I'd probably recognize him too then.
Yeah. It's one of her many shitty boyfriends on the Mindy Project.
Gotcha. Speaking of shitty boyfriends on the Mindy Project, we got great Chris. He's the good boyfriend on the Mindy Project. Great Chris Messina performance in juror number 2.
Okay. I love Chris Messina. I'm always excited to see him.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Air. All right.
That's Chris as far as I'm concerned.
You know what? Might be. Best supporting actress. Yeah, you know what? He's the 4th Chris. He's the best one. Best supporting actress. Elise has some backup here. Joan Chen in DD.
Woo!
Jurnee Smollett in We Grow Now. Rebecca Ferguson, Dune Part 2. Zoe Saldana, Amelia Perez.
Ooh, first Amelia Perez mention of the night.
Hopefully the last.
Absolutely
Catherine
a lead
Mallon.
performance. Just
That's a
can't
lead
get over
performance?
that. I feel like it's not for the Oscars, but it just feels like a lead performance by the
Oh, a lead performance. Yeah.
lead. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Am I alone in this, Marcelo? What do you think? It seemed totally the lead of that movie.
If I were to place her, I would have put her in my best supporting actress, only because that's what they're running her as.
Yeah,
I
it is.
understand.
I just think it's category fraud.
I know. I get that, but also the actress who plays Amelia Perez, like, she's in the lead, I guess, because she has her name in the title.
Yeah,
so,
true.
It's difficult, but
It's the titular role.
yeah. So I don't know if Saldana will mention in any other Discord picks, but I'll just say this: I'd be happy if she got nominated. I guess I'll be happy if she wins, only because I see it as a career win.
Career nomination.
Yeah, I think she's deserving of that. But the movie itself, I don't know. Okay, we can move on.
And his last choice, Catherine Mallon Koopfeuer in Ghostlight. No, Ghostlight. All of this will probably shift once I watch Conclave or The Brutalist. Okay, see, there's another
Joey?
one. Doesn't matter. No, this is Jay.
Oh, Jay?
Yeah.
Jay?
Is this a problem with the Jays, maybe?
Let's just kick them out of the Discord. Let's just get them out of there.
They're off the list for being on the show.
People in the Discord, hedge as much as you want. Ignore these two. Do whatever you want.
Come on.
He says he left Qualley off because I think she's co-lead with Demi. I believe he means Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore. Mm-hmm. Now, I did the same with somebody else who came up on one of your lists. One of you chose Mike Feist, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did.
I'm thinking, like, in my head, that's a triple lead movie.
Yeah. I looked up what they were running him as in the Oscars, and I can see the argument for him as supporting, but also it's literally about a threesome. So
right?
you kind of, So, but they had to run one in supporting, I guess. So, or they wanted to. So, yeah. But I totally get that justification as well.
The way I broke it down is I did have Mike Feist in supporting actor. He is in my honorable mentions. I did not mention. But yeah, I'm putting O'Connor in lead.
Now, and Mike Feist in West Side Story a couple years ago, that's a great supporting performance.
That is,
He's so good in that.
Sure is.
Oh my God. Open my eyes. Never heard of him before that. All right. Best supporting actor from our friend Noah Cassidy.
Yes.
He says Lewis Koo in Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. I don't know.
I've seen that.
Wow.
Good action movie. Yeah.
Good action movie, he says. Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain.
There you go.
Yura Borisov, Honora. Alessandro Nivola in The Brutalist.
Nice.
And Fred Durst in I Saw the TV Glow.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Best support.
Durst.
Oh,
I was gonna say real quick. Durst has, in my opinion, I mean, they didn't make my list, but notable supporting actor performances in both I Saw the TV Glow and Y2K. He plays himself in Y2K.
Oh yeah, he's in both, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Really making the rounds. Best Supporting Actress: Kitty O'Brien, Love Lies Bleeding.
Nice.
Bridget Lundy Payne, I Saw the TV Glow. Aubrey Plaza, Megalopolis.
There we go.
Woo.
Eve Lindley, National Anthem. Don't know it.
Oh, National Anthem. I saw National Anthem. Very small, indie, very sweet. I'd have to look up who that is, but if it's who I'm thinking, yeah, there's some really good supporting performances there. It's a beautifully shot movie about sort of like queer spaces in non-queer friendly parts of the world, specifically. I think they're in New Mexico, might be West Texas, but sweet, very small indie movie that I liked quite a lot.
Cool. And Mizuki Yoshida in Look Back. Also don't know it, I don't believe. Okay.
I'm not sure I know that either.
Friend of the site, Sam shot first. Nothing to warn this year about from this man. I don't believe there's any Keanu Reeves performances out there.
So you say so, but
am I wrong?
There is one Keanu performance. Have you already forgotten, Siobhan? Well, not forgotten, but it just
yes. Well,
just happened.
Yeah, and this was from a few days ago. He hasn't had a chance to see that performance yet, so who knows?
And of course, Elise, you know who we're talking about, right? You know what performance? Yeah.
Nope.
You know what movie? Come on.
Nope.
You know.
Nope.
Let's say it together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sonic
3.
The Hedgehog 3.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
I'll see you all.
Hey, no.
I have to leave.
You can't leave.
Play Shadow, the one with the gun. Okay. Friend of the site, Sam shot first. Supporting actress, Rebecca Ferguson, Dune Part 2. Zendaya, Dune Part 2.
Oh, yes.
Technically supporting?
I know. I was wondering that too, but I think I'll allow it. But
Sure,
watch yourself, Sam.
There's such category fuckery at the actual Oscars. At this point, it's like, all right, make a case for it.
This year, more than any, I've struggled with it, honestly.
It's a lot.
Anna Sophia Robb in Rebel Ridge. Still haven't seen that.
Oh, I need to see that.
Hannah Mallison in the Shadow Strays. Don't know this.
I do not know that either.
And Isabella Rossellini, Conclave.
Isabella Rossellini, Conclave. Good picks.
Ross's Hall Pass. Isabella Rossellini.
Ross's Hall Pass. Dude, okay. We can move on. We don't need to talk about this again. We've talked about this before.
Sporting actor, Chris Hemsworth, Furiosa. Hold on. I believe he means...
No, we can't do this.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the full title.
Yeah. Or is it a Mad Max saga Furiosa?
I thought it was Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Oh, God. I gotta look it up.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Yeah,
okay,
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Okay, so look, I have to go back. Jay McMillan put Chris Hemsworth from Furiosa. I believe he means Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, I'm finding so many mistakes. Joey put Gladiator 2. He used the number 2 instead of Roman numerals. Oh God. He also
movie about Rome. How dare
Joey Javier Bardem in Dune 2? It's Dune Part 2, I believe he means.
Come on.
I actually think it's pronounced Tune. Is the formal pronunciation?
Oh God. What have I done? All right, I'm just gonna go back down. Was I on Sam? Sam shot first, friend of the site. He gives us Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa. I believe he means Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Javier Bardem in Dune Part 2. Adam Pearson, A Different Man.
There we go.
Nice.
Stephen McKinley Henderson in Civil War.
Yeah. Who does he play? I'll look it up. I'm looking.
It's another movie I've fully just lost to the memory hole.
I just put that on my list for movies I need to rewatch before the end of the year. I need to find out where I land on that. He's Stephen McKinley Henderson. He was the guy in Lady Bird.
Guy. Yeah. He's the old guy in Civil War. It's sad. Yeah.
He's on it's on HBO. Ed Harris, Love Lies Bleeding.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, the real Matt C, I think, might be finishing us off. Yep.
Matt Carrion,
the real Matt C, host of Monsters podcast. Cedric Yarborough in Juror number 2. He puts a space between the pound sign and the 2. Shouldn't be like that. They're supposed to be together. Point deduction from you. Mike Feist in Challengers.
Woo! What's up, Matt?
What's up, Maddie? Denzel Washington in Gladiator 2. He also uses the number 2 and not the Roman numerals. I believe he meant Roman numerals.
Siobhan, in my notes, I use the Roman numerals, just so you know.
Thank you so much, Elise, for respecting the film.
It takes place in Rome.
This
use
is
the Roman numerals.
This is not about me and my sensitivities. This is about me respecting the art. Okay.
Yeah, this is about authenticity in film journalism.
Stephen Tobolowsky in Pool Man. Sure, dude. And then Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa. I believe he means Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Boom. You got him.
What a list. Supporting actress. Finishing us off. Zendaya. Dune Part 2. Once again, I feel like she should be lead, but it does neither here nor there. Isabella Rossellini, Ross's Hall Pass in Conclave. Catherine O'Hara in Beetlejuice. Talk about that one a little bit.
Okay. It's fun. It's a fun role. She's good in it. The movie. At least
Catherine O'Hara.
Did you see Beetlejuice?
I never got around to it. I was really busy in October. I was traveling a lot for work, and I just missed it. But I love Catherine O'Hara, so sure, why not? She's always fun.
Okay, Real Matt C, he continues with Sienna Miller. He says, from Horizon Part 1, I do believe he means Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 1. Get it right, Matt.
Matt, come on.
Get it right. And then his final pick, finishing us off, taking us to climax, Toni Collette in Juror Pound 2. Because he separates the pound sign and the 2. Should not be done like that.
Come on.
So, thanks. Toni Collette was great. I'm sure everybody else that everybody said was great.
Yeah.
So thank you guys from the Discord. Again, if you'd like to join the Discord conversation and get made fun of, you can at talkfilmsociety.com/Discord. Talkfilmsociety.com/Discord.
I won't make fun of you. Never.
At least it's too nice.
That's not true at all.
Not Marcelo and I.
I'm just new here.
You don't want to get on anybody's bad side.
Exactly.
All right, so we have one more thing to do. Much like Steve Jobs said, just one more thing.
We do?
The Gold Derby game. Let's get through this, and then we're done. Okay?
I thought
Siobhan?
we were doing that.
No. Okay, listen. We had some off-mic conversation about a game being played. All right, we're not gonna do anything major, but we will do this. I'm as per usual, Siobhan, as quickly as we can, and at least we'll provide commentary as this happens. At least, just you can chime in whenever Siobhan says something, or if maybe, hey, you know what? If you want to help Siobhan, all the better too. If just to get this out,
Can she be my
quicker.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes,
call in.
That's your call. Yeah. So
on the phone a friend. Cool.
Yes, you're the phone a friend. Okay,
great.
The Gold Derby game is I look at Gold Derby and I quiz Siobhan on the categories we just talked about to see what are the top 5 according to Gold Derby. Gold Derby, they take data from so-called experts, fans, whoever, and they sum it up and say, here's the top 5 of what they think will be what they think are the leads in each category. So best supporting actress. Let's start there. Okay, Siobhan, I'm looking at Gold Derby. The top 5 best supporting actresses. Who do you think they are?
Actresses.
Yeah.
You know what? This one's just like when I was picking them for my own thing. This one's harder than the boys, I think.
Yeah. Well, and there's quite a few movies that aren't out yet that are big and that are all coming out Christmas Day. So let's hear for that.
Zoe Saldana.
Boom. That's number 1.
Nice.
Wow. Ariana Grande.
That's number 2.
Wow. Holy
Wow.
Holy hell.
Holy God almighty.
God damn, I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson.
And she's all the way at number 18 on
Whatever.
Gold Derby's list. Yeah.
Whatever. Zendaya. Isabella Rossellini.
Bing. Number 3, Isabella Rossellini.
Okay. I am out of guesses. Can I use my phone a friend?
Yes, you can.
Oh, no.
Elise, do you have any guesses for those final 2 spots?
Crap. Those are kind of the only ones I had any awareness of. Is Selena Gomez on the list?
Ooh, number 6.
Ooh,
Just
great
outside.
call.
Yeah.
Great.
Ooh, wait, one more.
Okay.
Felicity Jones.
Yes. Bing.
Awesome.
Number 4.
Now I'm out. I'm out. For
Jones. I'll say, Siobhan, I'll give it to you. I mean, you got 3 out of 5 anyway, and you got 4
3
with
plus
Elise's help. The final one, I don't think either of you would have gotten. Daniel Deadweiler for the piano lesson.
I didn't know if that was supporting or lead
just
because I
top of
haven't
my
seen
head.
it yet.
Yeah. Tip of my tongue, What's Felicity Jones in?
The Brutalist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, just a quick rundown. Saldana, Emilia Perez, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, and Deadweiler, The Piano Lesson. All right, best supporting actor, Siobhan.
Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain.
Bing. Yes.
Yuri Borisov, Anora.
Yes, he is number... Culkin is 1, and Borisov is 5.
5? Wow, okay. Denzel for Gladiator 2.
Yes, he is 3.
Excellent.
It's a passing grade already, Siobhan, so...
Pretty good.
He's been nominated before. Austin Butler for Dune 2.
Incorrect. He's all the way down at number 16, according to Derby.
Gosh, what a performance so committed like that to be disrespected. I see here in the Discord, somebody nominated somebody from the Brutalist. I'm just going to say it. Alessandra Nivola, the Brutalist.
Incorrect.
Stanley Tucci, Conclave.
Incorrect. Stucci. Sorry. Tucci is 7, and the Brutalist actor you named, he is all the way down. I don't see him on this list.
Great.
I don't think he placed.
There's no way Chris Hemsworth's in here.
No.
Yeah.
You can phone a friend?
Friend?
I could, but hold on one second. Mike Feist, Challengers.
Incorrect. Alessandro Nivola is number 93 in the supporting actor
Okay,
race.
close.
Yeah.
He has a chance. Mike Feist isn't in there?
I'm looking at Mike Feist. Mike Feist.
Even the other guy? How about
is
the other
18. Mike Feist is 18. Josh O'Connor is 14.
I'm going to, I like that. I think Josh O'Connor is more. I'm going to call in my best friend, Elise. She's her partner. See if she can help me.
Clarence Macklin, Sing.
Yes, that's number 4.
Nice. What are we missing? Just one?
Just one. Number 2.
Is it Guy Pearce from the Brutalist?
Yes, Guy Pearce. Done.
Wow.
You guys
these are
got
the
it.
things I don't know. I haven't seen these. I haven't heard much about them.
Good job, folks. You did it. That's the Gold Derby game. I think Siobhan passed this with an assist from...
You tortured me once again.
Yes, it happens every episode. Now, the final question: Who do we think is going to win as of right now? Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. I can go first real quick. I think it's going to be I said it before. If Zoe Saldana gets nominated and if she wins, which I think will end up happening as of now, I think it's fine. I'll pick Saldana as winning, and same, not same for Culkin. I think if he wins, Culkin, I think it's very deserving. Fantastic performance. So those are my two picks. Why don't we go to Elise next? Who do you think is going to win?
I also think Kieran Culkin is going to win. I think it's his to lose for a real pain. I think his only real competition is Denzel. And for supporting actress, you're probably right about Saldana, but I'm going to go ahead and say Ariana Grande, just for fun, chaotic energy.
Yeah, I love it. Siobhan?
I'm going to match that chaos in both categories.
Ooh.
Ariana Grande for Wicked.
Yep.
Takes home the gold, and I think this guy could get a real push. Seems insane now, but I do think Yuri Borisov has a chance.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be
very cool.
Yeah, that'd be very, very good. Yeah.
He is really good in the movie, too.
I
can't wait for if Ariana does win, I can't wait for the unbelievable amount of crying she will do. She has cried so much and hasn't even been nominated yet. I think it's going to be a real fun thing to watch.
There we go, folks. Those are our takes. Take it to the bank. Use it. Win some money at your Oscar
at your
pool.
Local bank.
Your local bank. Take this episode, cash it in.
See what they say. Yeah.
Give them your iPhone and they go, here. Elise, what a pleasure.
Thank you. Happy to be here
Yes,
as always.
thank you, Elise. It was so nice talking to you finally.
Yeah, this was great. It was great to actually meet you and not just have a weird recording of me added to your podcast without your knowledge like last time.
Before we go, Elise, this is going to be weird to say, plugs. Where can people listening find you online if you wish to be found?
Don't try. Don't do it.
Okay, don't do it.
Get offline, all of you. That's my plug. Go outside. Get offline.
I'll say this, and I don't want to talk for you. I never want to do that. But if you want more of Elise and me, listen to Stage to Screen.
Yeah, listen to Stage to Screen. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
We especially listen to the Cats episode where we basically lose our minds.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole season we did is fun, but that one in particular, you can hear us literally lose our minds throughout the entire thing.
I've been listening to your Little Shop of Horrors episode, and I've been enjoying it a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
That one we just sound good, like smart and informed.
Yes, you do.
And then in Cats we just sound crazy. So it's, depends on your flavor, for sure.
Siobhan, have any plugs to share? Things you want to talk about here at the very end?
TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. I like plugging that. And go to the Patreon.com/TalkFilmSociety. Listen to Marcelo and I's monthly commentaries that we do a different commentary every month. We also have backlogs of full series of commentaries that we've done, like Saw, Matrix, Die Hard, upcoming Austin Powers commentary series.
Yes, we're threatening people with that. Yeah.
On the free feed that you're likely listening this on, you can listen to our Jingle All the Way commentary with special guest star Vera Drew.
I listened to that. That was fun.
Did you?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was fun.
But
our commentaries, that's what I like to plug.
Yeah. I made a link for anybody who wants to go directly to that Vera Drew commentary. It'll be at the top of the page. It's talkfilmsociety.com/TFS commentaries, and it'll be right up top. That was a fun time. Talkfilmsociety.com. In January, I'll be a guest on a podcast talking about Steven Soderbergh, and I'll bring back the Steven Soderbergh podcast for presents. Just keep listening to this show. Talkfilmsociety.com, all that stuff. The end. Elise, thank you. Sorry this went on for as long as it did.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. I like pretending like I'm an expert in something. It's always enjoyable.
Siobhan, great as always.
Just a great time talking to you, Marcelo.
Just a good time. It's the best.
Always love it. Always love it.
Friends.
Thanks for listening. Hold on. Wait. I forgot the thing.
I don't
used to
know.
say.
I don't
Hold
think
on.
we have an ending for this one.
No. I always have an ending, but it's
Don't you
I know
just
what it
do
is.
the
I
Roger
know what it
Ebert
is.
thing?
Yes, I go. See you at the movies. No, wait. I never say that. All right, bye.